my best friends. Some people say we have a problem, but every night I make a new best friend. And the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hello. It is Thursday evening. It is 8 p.m. And y'all know what that means. It is yet another episode of Between Two Beards. It is Christmas week. Christmas is 3 days away. If you celebrate Christmas, as you can see, Pluggo and I are in the Christmas spirit.
You look more like Santa than I do. I'm having issues with my ball. Like, I can't figure out.
Hey, that's a private issue, man. You gotta be.
But if you have issues with your balls, that's a perfect Manscaped segue. Go to Manscaped.
I mean, it is. Let's do it right now. Let's get it out the top. Let's get it out the top, bro. Let them know.
For 20% off your order using that promo code Love Wrestling. You don't want your balls all sorts of a mess like my ball is right now. You want to get that thing cleaned up. So go to manscaped.com, put in that promo code Love Wrestling for 20% off your order. And what we usually do it the other way, but what are we talking about? Free shipping where, JPJ?
That is worldwide, brother. Worldwide.
Right. Your boss will thank you, your partner will thank you, and you'll go into the new year feeling fresh, looking fresh. That's the way to do it. Anyway.
And while we're here, might as well.
RK
Athletics 1. Our boy Rich King, he might be a gimmick stealer, but one thing he is very good at, besides professional wrestling, is personal training. And if you're looking, holidays, New Year right around the corner, we know what happens on January 1st. What's everybody's New Year's resolution? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to lose some weight. And then by January 7th, we're done with that shit. That's how that goes. But if you hang on, you reach out to RK Athletics 1 on social media, and you get in touch with Rich, you will not give up on your New Year's resolutions, because Rich and the team over at RK Athletics, they are the best at what they do, whether it's personal training, meal planning, virtual, whether you're in the Edmonton area, it does not matter. Rich and the team over there, they'll take care of you, and they'll make you see progress, and you'll be happy. You'll be a happy camper. So go give them a follow. Reach out to them on RK Athletics 1 on all social media platforms and do the damn thing.
And I've done it, and he's been very nice to me, even though we've got beef.
We do have beef.
Some tips, and I use them, and I love him for it. But
we got the beef. We got all the
beef. Speaking of beef.
Hi,
Ecto
guy popping in here saying Merry Christmas, boys. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to
Ecto guy. We miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. We'll have the list of work for you to do by next week, very soon. But we miss you, buddy. Wish you were here. Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend.
That's right, brother. Yeah, you want that Arn Anderson out of $3.99, Ecto guy? You gotta earn it, baby.
Damn right you do. You damn right you do.
You gotta earn
it. It is that time. It is that Christmas time.
No.
I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling pretty good.
Generous?
Yeah, why not? Oh, we got Josh saying Merry Christmas, bitches.
What's up,
Merry
baby?
Christmas, Josh. Good to see you, my friend. We got Bebe popping in here saying, hey, you two. What's going on, my friends?
Hey, baby.
Anybody that's hopping in the chat, say hello. We're happy you're here.
It's a Christmas office party, baby.
It is for the Christmas edition of Between Two Beards. We are going to go through the Beardy Awards tonight. We have 10 awards and all sorts of nominees that will be voting for the next week, and we will announce the winners next week on the year-end edition. We got our boy Culp popping in. Merry Christmas to you too, sir. Appreciate you. Glad you are here. Was it 11? Did we do 11? Did we add an 11th award?
You know what I think I did on the end there? Oh, you know what we forgot? No, because when we did it together, when we sat down, we talked about news story of the year, and we
because I feel like this year you should have.
I threw it in. What's the topic tonight, baby? We're talking everything wrestling. Everybody welcome in. Questions, comments. It's your show. You want us to talk about something? Put it in the comments. We'll talk about it. We don't hold back. And while we decide what we want to talk about first, I had mentioned it the other day. It's been a long week. JPJ, I know you're trying to avoid it because you don't want to get pissed off because you're in the Christmas spirit, but I have to ask, what happened to your Patriots? That is the worst loss I have ever seen in football history.
Well, let's relax. That's a
Come on now, that's gotta be.
we lost an undefeated season and a Super Bowl to a guy that caught a ball against his fucking helmet.
Too. That's what we do.
Against his fucking helmet. So if you want to tell me that that loss last week was worse than that, I will disagree. The Atlanta Falcons were winning 28-3 with 9 minutes left in the Super Bowl in the third quarter, and they lost the Super Bowl. So if you want to tell me that listen, here's my deal.
We'll get into the wrestling. Stick with
I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to disappoint you, Pluggo, but I'm really not that upset about it because this Patriots team sucks. The defense is good. The defense is good. That's about it. We got a fucking defensive coordinator calling offense.
Yeah.
We got nothing. We got nothing. We're bums.
You got it's rough.
We're a bunch of bums. It was gonna happen. Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know the deal.
I'm never against a Josh running.
If the superstar himself, Josh Robinson, is available,
I'm never against a Josh running.
Send him that link. Let's get it done.
But I don't want to disappoint you because I know you're ready for one of these. We will discuss that. We will discuss that. I know you were in the chat with me earlier for Firmly AEW with me and Drew. Yeah, we'll talk about that segment. That segment was definitely something.
You got that, JPJ, or you want me to do it?
If you could, that would be great.
Got you.
Great. All right. So when it comes to the New England Patriots, if they would have won that game last week, what? Okay. So we're 8-6 instead of 7-7, and we what? We lose the next 3 games because we stink, or we miraculously get into the playoff and we get our doors blown off in the first round because we stink. I'm angry at Bill because he did not. You're supposed to set up your young quarterback for a good year too, and he actually went against him a little bit, set him up for failure. You give him a defensive coordinator as his main offensive coach. How do you think that's going to go? I could call better plays myself because I've been playing Madden for 20 years. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke. You fix it in the offseason.
Gosh, I just slid into your DMs, baby girl. Let's go.
You fix it in the offseason.
Yeah, buddy.
You figure out if Mac Jones is your guy. And if next year we don't get better or make the playoffs, you fire Bill Belichick. That's right. You fire Bill Belichick. Because what he did this year is an absolute on-purpose detriment to your starting young second-year, supposedly next franchise quarterback and the team in general. Because Belichick is fucking stubborn. And he just goes, oh, well, that was all me, dude. It was all me. It didn't matter that I had Tom Brady as my quarterback. I did all that. So I can do that with anybody. No, you can't. You cannot. How many Super Bowls have you won without Tom Brady? Oh, the answer is 0? Okay. Just checking. He's a great coach. He's the best coach of all time, but give me a break. Anyway. Goddamn. All right. Why'd you have to do that? Why'd you have to do that?
I wanted to get it out.
I said I wasn't going to get riled. Yeah, and look at half the chat left. They don't want to hear me talking about the Patriots.
Well, he'll come back.
Yeah. All right. Well,
he's done. So send out the bat signal. He's done ranting football. Josh Robinson is waiting in our green room.
Oh, hold on. I got to change the background. Hold on. Josh, we cut Josh's face in half.
Oh,
look at my face is not very symmetrical either.
There we go.
That's better.
There we go.
Just want to say I'm a little sick, so if I'm a bit like,
getting sick right before Christmas, that's never a good time.
Sick as in like the good thing, like I'm sick, yo.
Well, I'm always sick, but I'm sick, so it is what it is. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, how we
doing?
And
I don't have a Christmas hat on because it's too fucking hot for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Christmas is in the summertime down.
Yeah, and we're entering a heat wave. So
are you? Because we're entering like winter. Like we have warnings. We have winter weather warnings all the way from the Midwest through the whole East Coast over here.
On Tuesday, it's going to be 45 degrees Celsius, which is like a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is that? Like
Whatever.
Was it like 90? It was in the high 90s, hundreds?
That's in the, I believe. Let me have
Like
a
low
look.
hundreds?
I believe.
So for you, Josh, your Christmas down.
It's 113 Fahrenheit.
113 degrees.
Wow.
Right now. So when you're sitting there
Not right now,
watching,
but
like,
that's on
Christmas,
Tuesday.
When you're watching Christmas movies, you're like, what is all this snow?
Yeah, well, because everything is just based around America in this world.
Whoa.
So you just have to learn to.
Is there any Christmas movies for Australia?
Yeah, do you guys have you have to have like
Yeah.
homemade Australian
the
Christmas
So
movie? Like,
this is the difference with Christmas, I guess, with this country as opposed to Americans or like people in the Northern Hemisphere, is that for Christmas, we don't really, well, some people do hot lunches, but we usually do like barbecues and you're outside or you go to the beach.
It would be like what the equivalent is of in America. We have the 4th of July, which is like in the middle of the summer. It's cookouts, pool parties.
Mhm.
So that's basically your Christmas.
Mhm.
Is like that style of get that.
Yeah.
Imagine. That would be incredible to have to celebrate Christmas outside at a barbecue. Oh,
It's great. You sit outside and you just live your life and you just have a good time. You know what I mean?
well, Bebe's
but-
saying it's supposed to be 5 degrees Fahrenheit tonight in Arkansas, where he is. So
that cold.
that is cold. That is cold. That's what we call cold.
But it's nice at the moment. Like it's like a couple. We're not meant to enter the heat wave until Christmas Day, so it's not too bad at the moment. It's just it's summertime. I ain't putting on a Christmas hat. I'll sweat my balls.
No, yeah, of course, and I respect it. I respect.
But
it.
if that
We're-
happens, we've got a great sponsor that can take care of your sweaty balls.
that is true. That is true.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Josh is joining us tonight. We were really free. This is a free for all tonight. We do have the
Hell
Beardy
yeah.
Awards that we're going to go through, at least go through the nominations. You can vote on them if you follow us at B2 Beards on Twitter. We posted it a little bit earlier this evening.
The survey is up.
The
It's
awards
ready to run.
are up. You have a full week to vote on them. And then next Thursday, we will reveal the second annual winners of the Beardy Awards. So that is always fun. Lou just getting all up in my shit.
He's giving no fucks tonight. He is
No, Lou's just like, bruh, you busy?
kept
Oh,
kicking
well.
me.
Don't care. So that'll be fun. Some things went on in the wrestling world. We had a fellow Australian make a return on Monday night. Bronson Reed
Mhm.
made his return to the
Mhm.
WWE.
The dubba.
The dubba.
As
that-
Mrs. Lackey, bro.
How many times is Miz going to have a fucking lackey? Can we talk about that for a second? Hey,
That's
and I
Texas.
don't mind the
Miz
Miz.
has a
I like the
lackey.
Miz. How many different lackeys does the Miz need? Because there's been a lot. It was Ciampa, and then there was other things, and he always has a lackey. There's always someone there.
It's Miz. He's a cockhead heel. He needs
is.
lackeys.
I understand that, but does the returns do they always have to go through the Miz? Is it always have to go through the Miz?
He's a very reliable man.
That is true. He is reliable. He's going to make him look good. He's going to keep him safe. I get it. I just feel like everybody ends up being the Miz's. What does Bronson Reed? What on earth does he have to do with the Miz? Besides, the Miz paid him a boatload of money, probably, which is probably what it was.
Money
I mean,
makes
he won
people
all that
do
cash. So.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you guys are right.
Hey, that ladder match on Raw, by the way, started off and I was like, "Ooh, this isn't a great ladder match." But by the end of it, I was
It was
like,
good.
"Ooh, this is real good."
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
I thought
I
Raw was
actually-
actually really
yeah,
solid in
I
general.
enjoyed
Raw
it.
always
I thought it
is solid. I hate when we put not you. I'm not attacking you, JPJ, but everyone's like, "Raw is actually good." I'm like, "Raw's been good for like 6 months."
It's true. I agree.
Like 9 times out of
Well,
10,
because
Raw is a
most
pretty
people
good
are
time.
still coming back to it. They're still getting those people back now that Vince
I
is
know.
gone.
I like how want me to go on a Josh rant?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
Josh Unhinged.
Josh Unhinged. I wish I still had the
don't-
video.
I don't
I think we do.
talk about wrestling much anymore because wrestling fans can kiss my bloody ass because it's the worst fucking thing to talk about on the internet. It's wrestling. But I will say that you know how all these stupid reports come out from every bozo dirt sheet is like, "Oh, we're unhappy with all these returns and we're blah, 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 blah." Listen, bitch. If these were so unhappy, they wouldn't keep coming. he would stop bringing all these people back, or the powers that be would stop bringing all these people back. And like, I like how like people can show up in AEW and it's like, woo, let's have a good fucking time. We love this person. They were so underutilized. But when someone comes back to WWE, they're boring. They get no reaction. They do all these things. I hate it. It's like, shut the hell up. Let it breathe, guys. Let it breathe. Like Bronson Reed, for example. Really, he wasn't in NXT for all that long. He shouldn't probably get a reaction. Okay? In 2002, Brock Lesnar showed up in WWE and everyone was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is Brock Lesnar? The commentary team was like, oh, I hear that's Brock Lesnar. He's a hot free agent. The commentary did the same thing. But do people shit on Brock Lesnar? They love that shit.
Yeah.
When John Cena showed up and said ruthless aggression, nobody knew who he was. But apparently, because we don't know who these people are from NXT, therefore it sucks.
By the way, I watched that ruthless aggression, like Kurt Angle, John Cena match, I think like last week for the first time in a while.
It's a great match.
My God.
It's like 12 minutes of like just fast.
Yeah,
the
it's a great match.
The whole thing was like so good. The match was all fast paced. The backstage stuff. The Angle coming down, taking the straps down. Saying
Well, the backstage stuff with Taker, right? Like Taker gave Cena the nod.
And
Good job out there,
Cena
kid.
Just
Like he like gave him the nod.
So
I know
young.
Cena looks so young.
And
Hey, on
was
December 30th, John Cena's
Well, I
going to
was
be
going to say
wrestling.
that's something we can talk about because it was announced last week via satellite video that John Cena
looking like
will
he's
be
outside an
returning.
Applebee's going.
and
Literally.
so cool.
literally
Real
just
quick.
against a brick wall. Was he filming Clerks 4? The hell was going on there?
He was so
But anyway.
corny too. It was like the most 1980s promo. and I
Literally,
was
it
so
just the
into
way it
I was
looked,
like, fuck yeah,
everything.
John.
It was just, and he said
Time's
next-
almost up.
It was
He had it. He
amazing.
was
So
so
corny.
It was so crazy.
But I was so into it. I was like, hell yeah, John. Like,
Just get into it, man. But yeah, so not this Friday, but next Friday, December 30th, the eve of New Year's Eve, on SmackDown, John Cena will be teaming up with Kevin Owens.
What the heck?
What?
It's just weird to think that like
Yeah.
Cena was really about to not wrestle this year for the first
Yeah, and
time.
I'm
in
glad they
20
referenced it.
years.
I'm glad like part of the thing was he was like, I haven't wrestled at all this year, and I've wrestled every year since blah blah blah. So like I'm glad they like referenced it. Yeah, bro, I'm feeling that right now. It's okay. He's
I don't know.
Hey,
where
it's
to be.
amazing. And Josh has a cat, and I know Pluggo, you have cats too.
Yes,
The cat wants nothing to do with you for 90% of the day. They're
Yeah.
like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do my own thing. You do
Yeah.
your own thing.
Yeah.
But it just so happens that every time I'm streaming or I'm doing a show, that's the 10% of the day where Lou's like, oh, what are you doing? Let me get all up in your shit. You know
No,
what I mean?
mine's bedtime. Giddy's just like, let me get all up in your business and like stand on you when
Yeah.
you're trying to sleep. And I'm like, maybe not right now.
But John Cena will be coming back.
Ass in the face.
There we go. See you later.
I
That's
don't
it. That's all.
understand
See, he
that.
just sits up here and he's like, no, I'm done. Teaming up with Kevin Owens to take on Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. First and foremost, what a main event for a SmackDown that's going to be. I mean, it's just going to be spectacular. And it will obviously be progressing the storyline of the bloodline with Sami and KO, and now John Cena in the fold. I hope John Cena is in the Royal Rumble. That would be really cool if he was in the Royal Rumble match. Not him winning it, but if he was in it, that would be pretty dope.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Well, I'll ask both.
Go ahead.
Is he going to be is this just like a quick one?
I think this is just a one-off to get him back reintroduced to the world, and
he will be at WrestleMania. He will be at WrestleMania.
I mean, it's Hollywood Mania. I think we're going to try and get as many things going on. Seems like they're loading up both that SmackDown and that Raw, because like Seth and Austin Theory and Bliss and Belair are on that Raw, the first Raw of the new year. I guess because next week's Raw is just a best of show.
It's a best of. It's not even a real Raw.
Yeah, and then it's already taped this week for SmackDown.
Yeah, they already taped SmackDown this week. They got a best of Raw, so they're like giving their talent like.
And I feel like this is going to be. And I feel like for us as fans, it's a bit
but
of a
they're
break
not
for
giving
a
them
week.
the week off.
You know what I mean?
I heard they have a live show going.
They
on
still have a
26th.
live event on that night. It's so weird.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
so
thought they would
odd.
like give them
why
like the hey, here's the holiday weekend. Like,
but I will say, for us as fans, it kind of gives me a week break
Yeah.
Of not having to watch. I'm not going to watch SmackDown. I've already read the spoilers. I don't need to watch that. And I'm not going to watch a best of Raw next week. I'll just be like, okay, I can take a breather. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to watch wrestling this week. And then SmackDown, or AEW, I guess, will do their show next week. But
Yeah.
Well,
for
you're
me,
not gonna watch NWA Power.
I'm not even going to make a joke about that. No, I mean, but yeah, they seem to be loading up the first Raw or the first show, in this case, the last show of the year. They're always they stack them up, pretty high. Can we talk about Bliss and Belair?
Yeah.
Well, and I also
this
say they
whole
probably are
spooky-
stacking it to put a bow on it.
So
because
do you
they canceled
think-
day one?
All right,
That
I'll leave
too.
this off with you. Do you think because of the Bray Wyatt connection that they are really pushing forward with Alexa Bliss, do you think
Well,
Alexa has a chance of winning?
No, but for different reasons. Not because Bliss isn't like amongst that conversation. It's just because Belair's not losing the championship before WrestleMania. They're just all there's no way Belair drops the title beforehand. But I would say with Alexa Bliss, I think for a long time, and I think still people are accustomed to WWE can't really tell long-term stories. But here, like if you blink, you will miss this kind of stuff. Like back at Clash at the Castle, Bliss was in a backstage promo before her tag team title match, and the Bray Wyatt symbol, logo, whatever you want to call it, flashed up on the screen for like maybe a second in that promo, and everyone was just kind of like, oh, well, whatever, like who knows? And then it kind of, progressed more and more and more, and we've seen this kind of new thing with Bliss. And then last week when she did the Sister Abigail pose, and then she cracked Belair over the head with a vase, like this week. And the Bray Wyatt stuff was in there. I think the reason, like, this just gets Bliss back to being with Bray and all that kind of stuff, which I know some people are a bit iffy about. I always enjoyed Bliss with Bray, but I didn't enjoy when Bray was gone and then Bliss was kind of doing like a carbon copy of the Fiend, and it didn't really work. Like, it works when she's attached to him, but it doesn't work for her when he's not involved. But I think this could be fun to do. I think Belair will win because there will be some spooky craziness that goes on in that match. But what I will say is that while Belair and Bayley had some wonderful matches, I am excited to see something different.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bliss and Belair have ever worked one-on-one.
I don't think they have.
I know they
Not
touched in
that I
the
could think of,
chamber.
no.
If you remember back at the Elimination Chamber, they were the last two.
Yep.
But I don't believe Bliss and Belair have ever touched.
I think you are correct. I don't think they have either. And I'm looking forward to it too. I think this is going to be the type of match that, not that people have forgotten about Alexa Bliss, but
I've forgotten that she can wrestle still.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the type of match that walking away from it, but like from walking away from it, people are going to they're going to remember who Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss is a shell of her former self, and I mean
100%.
that in she's talented, and we've seen little glimpses of things, and I'm like, okay, she can still. Okay, here's that. This is so, her character has been so bland that. Name one spot she did in War Games.
I was there. She didn't.
She was handcuffed to Nikki Cross.
Literally, that was it. The handcuff to Nikki Cross.
Okay, and the handcuff meant what in terms of that match?
Exactly.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Bliss has been just there since she really come back, and then she got that awful music.
Which I said it on Twitter. I said it a couple weeks on Twitter because Josh, whenever we talk about Alexa Bliss, he sings.
She's always on our Sims.
On our Sims, and she just goes, he's like, So every time I hear that theme song, it's the only thing I can think of is
truly like it sounds like I'm taking a shit in my toilet. That's what that sounds like. Anyway, but Bliss has just been furniture for a little while. And again, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but there hasn't been a whole lot going on for Alexa Bliss. She's been the third person in a 3-person group that isn't a real group for so long. She's just been playing side piece, and I'm glad that she's back in the fold. We're getting something new, and Belair will retain in some way, but Bliss being back in with the Bray Wyatt stuff, I think a lot of people are iffy on it, but I think given the reigns that WWE is in now, I think if we got something good last time with them, imagine what it can be now with a little bit more, where the shackles aren't as tight.
Yeah.
And I
That makes
think,
sense.
you know, Bliss can be with Bray, and then wherever Bray goes, and, you know, he's working with LA Knight and that. I don't think it's going to be an immediate attachment, but Bliss will progress. You know how she's been, the symbol's been popping up, and then she's been like, I'm fucking insane. And then like she attacks. Yeah. And then like, I think we'll get more and more of that going into the Rumble and then going into WrestleMania.
Well, I
Yeah.
think she was playing a lot of catch up, right? So they did the Bray stuff, then they released Bray, then they didn't know what to do with her. And then she's always been kind of the easy one to forget about because you have the 4 horsewomen. And then that next level has always been Asuka. And I put Bliss in there.
But
all
she
the time.
was.
Yeah.
I
The
think
thing
she's
that's
one of the
crazy is
one,
when
right.
she
Yeah.
first came up, she was the next level. It was
No,
she
but-
was
Well, at one point, she was the heel.
yes, it was the 4
Right.
horsewomen
I
and her
just-
like
you
she
don't
was the
become a
first time
five-time
champ
champ
on
for
both
nothing.
brands. Like it was
Yeah.
she was respected that way.
But
And
She
I
kind
then-
of lost a lot of steam after she lost to Ronda
yeah.
back in
Yeah, well-
2018 or whatever. And then she got hurt, you know, a couple of times,
And
like
yeah.
a few concussions.
Well, and that's what
then
happens. You get
just kind of
Ronda back,
flowed.
you get Ronda in the fold, then you have Belair, and you're trying to build up all these other women because that's
Yeah.
been the knock on the WWE for a long time. It's like it's the 4 horsewomen and Asuka. That's
And
it.
now
or
there's
Bliss.
barely any 4 horsewomen there. at the
Exactly.
moment.
And now
Right,
you have
right.
all
So now
these
they're
other,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, we still got Alexa Bliss in the cupboard. We need to heat her back up because she is super good and she is super talented.
And the thing with Alexa Bliss is that she's still in a spot, like even throughout all this time with the, you know, the blandness, I guess, of her character, she's still Alexa Bliss, and it doesn't
Yeah.
take too much to get her back into
Right.
the conversation with
like when
things.
she said that line, like, hey, you don't have to worry about Bray, you got to worry about me. It's like, yeah, you're right. You don't overlook me because Bray's putting graphics on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a
How does
five-time
it?
champ.
How do you? You know, speaking of, by the way, Bailey and Becky, what a wonderful little match they had on. It just like when they were having that match on Raw and they were just wrestling, and I'm like, wow, I sometimes I feel like especially with Becky, sometimes I forget that she is really freaking good in the ring. Like, and so is Bailey. I mean, Bailey's always been the most
best.
all-rounded 4-horse woman.
Yeah.
I think she's the most all-rounded woman they have on the roster in terms of just like versatility. Yes, she's probably not the most flashy wrestler in the world, but she's versatile. She can pretty much work a style that goes with 99% of people that are in the company. But they just wrestled and they had a really great, I know it got screwy and stuff, but that's what heels do. They do, you know, stuff like that. And we're going to get more of Becky and Bailey, but they just had a match that reminded me of like, that's what those two can do together.
Right.
Also, we haven't really ever had a program with Becky and Bailey. This is
No,
the
and
first
they even
program
said it
they've
was the
had.
first time they were wrestling since about 2018. Like it had been a while since they
And they
had a
just had
one-on-one
matches.
match.
Like I don't
Yeah.
feel like they ever had. Please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but they never had a program just one-on-one in NXT either. It was always like Sasha Charlotte, Sasha Bailey, Becky Sasha, Bailey.
I was going to say
Charlotte.
they were part of the group. Like she had
were-
to get
yeah.
through Becky to continue
Sure,
what the Bailey
they
story
had
down
matches.
there. but
I'm not saying they
it
didn't
wasn't
have
a
matches.
feud though. Yeah, it wasn't a
They
feud.
never really did anything, and then when they went to the main roster, they were always adjacent to one another.
I feel like they were always on separate shows or they were
Yeah.
involved in different things.
And they cross paths here and there, but like I feel like this is the first time we're actually seeing like Bailey and Becky working, and I would assume they might have a singles match at. The
I think they
Rumble?
should. I think they should. I am of the belief, like, and it was one of those things where when this first started a couple weeks ago, and it was like, oh, are they leaning towards a Becky Bailey thing? Even though these two have been on our television screens forever, it felt fresh to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. Like, and I think I even like said something like, I was like, I am ready for a Bailey and Becky feud. Like, give it to me. Like, oh yeah. Like, even though these are two all-timers, main eventers, they're all over the programs when they're there, it feels like a fresh matchup because we've never properly seen it.
Also, I don't believe the last time that they had a one-on-one match, which I think was in 2019 on an episode of SmackDown, they were both baby faces. Like Bailey, I know Bailey turned on Becky technically when she aligned with Sasha back in 2019.
Yeah.
But they had a bunch of tag matches where it was like Becky and Charlotte versus Sasha and Bailey. The first Fox show was like that was the first match on the first Fox show, but they never really worked one-on-one even in that. So we haven't really seen a lot of that. Also, something else I like about this program is that Becky isn't looking for friends to even the numbers. Like, it's just Becky versus Damage Control.
Getting back to being the man.
Yeah, she's the man.
Yeah,
she can do whatever she wants, you know?
She's getting cool again. I loved Big Time Bex, and I love that heel run. She had the best matches of her career in that time period where she was the heel and she was working with Morgan and Belair and Doudrop and people like that. But like Becky lost a certain element of edge when she did that, and that's just going to happen because she's not like cool here. Like she's not like cool the man. Like she's just whatever.
Smart mouth, Zach in the house.
Oh my God, Zach's here.
You got to be quiet when Zach's here. You're like, Zach's here. No.
Oh, I just wanted to say hello to Zach. I like Zach. But
Zach.
It's just cool. Becky's getting back to what she needed, what she was, and I don't mean it as like a knockoff or a nostalgic act. It's just cool. It's organic again, and it's feeling cool again. But I will say is that Damage Control are in a very awkward spot because they have to win a lot at this point, or they're just kind of they're done.
And it's crazy to say that because they're the tag team champions and they have Bailey, but every time I turn the TV on, they're taking an L. It's like,
well, they won last week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They just defended their in a really fun match, and then they had that stupid reveal. Like, why have someone hooded? Just have it be Xia Li. Like we were speculating, and then it was like, oh, never mind. But they had a good match with Tegan
I'm
Knox
surprised
and
they
Liv
blew
Morgan.
that so early. Like you have.
I
the
think it was
hooded
because
thing.
it was Xia Li, and everyone would have been like, oh.
You had Chelsea Green even tweet like an eye emoji thing at that point, which kind of because she's
It's one return. I'm just not.
Well, yeah, it's happening. She
she
deactivated the OnlyFans, and that leads people to think, obviously, with what happened with Mandy Rose, that leads people to
By
think,
the
well,
way, Mandy Rose, make your money.
Oh yeah, we
Make
could
your
talk about that. Yeah,
money.
reported in the 4 days
she got released
in the 4 days since losing her job, $500,000.
Woo!
Do your thing, girl.
Oh, girl.
Do your
So
thing.
Not ever. I mean this in all sincerity, Mandy Rose. Never ever take a bump again a day in your life. You don't need
to. Don't need
even
to.
even to that point, like even take it a step further, take a bump if you want, do you, but you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to. Like,
Nope.
and if I'm her, like I would never, even though there's these people thinking she'll eventually return back to WWE once they like the dust settles. If I'm her, nah, I'm good. Like, look what I did with this money. If I wanted to show up anywhere on an independent scene and take a bump, I can.
Mm-hmm.
The ball is in my court. I don't need you. And that's the thing. Like, we forget, we talked about this a lot with Warren. It was like the WWE nowadays, they kind of forget, like, the landscape has changed. Like, these wrestlers don't necessarily need the WWE to make money. You look at a Mandy Rose who's making $500,000 in 4 days. Effie's one I talked about last night on the card opening stream. We were just discussing amongst us like what independent wrestlers we'd like to see in AEW, and I said it'd be cool to see like Effie do like a 1 or 2 match run with AEW. Yeah. And somebody goes, well, he would never sign with a major promotion, and I don't think he would because he doesn't need to. He makes a boatload of money doing his own thing.
You know, Adam Cole's been injured for months now with a concussion, and he's making probably more money doing the streaming thing and chugs what he's doing than he was probably with his NXT deal. You know what I mean? So it's like there's other avenues. Oh, we got our buddy Drew popping in saying, look at these 3 tails. Yeah, me and Drew had another fine episode of
Josh,
Friendly
you're bringing
AEW
out
this
all
morning.
the studs tonight.
But yeah, it's one of those things where like there are a lot of avenues for these talented. Yes, they're talented professional wrestlers, but they're also just talented people. And there are a lot of other avenues for these people to go make some money. And I think, like Pluggo just said, we are in a world now where people that might have needed the WWE or that old thing, like, well, they need us more than we need them. It's not really like that much anymore. And it's kind of hard to like maneuver through that, like where a Mandy Rose, where it's like, I'm assuming, again, just assuming, but I'm assuming that she had a couple, like maybe, quick talks like, hey, hey, it's still cool, but like, ooh, we're getting there. And she was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And then they were like, okay, well, cool. And then they had another talk like, hey, some of the sponsors. And she's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And they're like, okay. And then it was like, okay, well, now a sponsor's going to drop out. you end it or you're gone. And she's like, I'm good. See you later. I'm out. I'll lose the title tonight. Tomorrow, out. See you later. Party. I'm going to make a boatload of more money now. So,
Yeah.
and it's just not every case is going to be that way of Mandy Rose, but
Okay, so I will say this because it doesn't matter to me, because you guys will sound weird saying it, but I won't. I signed up for her only.
did you? Did you
but
get it before? Because she jacked
so
up the
I
price.
was curious because when
Yes.
she got
Did you
released,
pay
I'm like,
double?
I had to pay like $40.
Whoa!
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
like-
before
so
she got released.
I
That
was
shit was like
curious
$13.
I'm not going to get my jollies off to this. I was like, I'm just going to have a look to see how explicit this is. Hey, she got explicit.
Yeah,
she
that's
was
what I
showing
was-
full
yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
And I was like,
I have not seen it, but I
and
heard
it was
it
her and Tino.
because they're married or engaged.
One or the other.
One of them.
They were like in the shower together. Like
Are
they were having a
but
grand old time.
they weren't doing it though.
There was pictures and there were some videos of her in a pool with her boobies out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I was curious. I was like, let me have a look to see how bad this really is in the WWE's eyes. And I was like, oh, she's having a good old time on.
Yeah, well, good for
Good
her.
for her. Yeah,
Good for
I'm
her.
not. Again, I'm not judging at all.
And
Do
there's
your
that,
thing.
and there's that group of people that are like, well, the WWE made her. No, like that's the thing. Like the WWE made John Cena, right? Wait, Tina was involved.
Now Drew's like, wait a minute, do I need
Drew's
to look
like
into this?
slapping the card down.
Do I need to look into this?
But
that's the only time I ever was like, oh, hello, there's something going on that I like here. But yes, he was Drew, and it wasn't unimpressive. But anyway.
was unimpressive.
We got to break in news.
Let's just move on. Let's move on.
I was just saying, like, people, the WWE needs to realize that just as much as you're creating stars, and yes, you created Mandy Rose's persona, she's also using you to create her. Like John Cena, we talked about him earlier. WWE made Cena. Well, he used that and moved on to movies and a bigger platform and yada yada. The Rock. They made The Rock. He moved on, blah, blah, blah. Just because they're not liking the way she's doing it. The naive people that are like, well, the WWE made her. She owes them something. No, she doesn't owe them shit. It's a mutually exclusive deal where it's like, oh, you're going to give me this platform. I hope to be a big star for you. I also hope to raise my profile as well so I can do other things like acting in movies. And Dare Amazing's in the house.
Yo, Dare Amazing. Been a little bit, my friend. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Dare Amazing popped in last night, and I proclaimed the Quizplex Viewers Champion. Hands down, killed it. As always.
It's true.
I'm not even going to fight it anymore.
No. Oh, man. What else is going on in the world of professional wrestling? I mean, we're talking about the female talent, and I know Josh, you are not a regular AEW viewer.
I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was great. Okay.
Last night, the main event of Dynamite was Jamie Hayter and Sheeta. Oh boy, that was
we just talk a second.
That was a good one.
The fact that they gave them the main event about
damn right.
Because the only other main events in women's AEW history is Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, and I think they did it twice.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah.
So for them to put that spotlight on Hayter and Sheeta says an awful lot about what they see in them.
And I've seen little clips of it, and they fucking killed it.
Oh my god, it was unbelievable.
Oh, sorry, I'm swearing a lot on your shows.
It's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Spencer's money, not ours.
Yeah, it's
fair.
We get demonetized. What's the worst thing that can happen? But it was very good. And the thing that I loved about it the most was it felt like an old school wrestling match. Like they were just punches, strikes, beating the crap out of each other. They were rehearsing. The Hayter love is very organic.
Yes.
And Sheeta is very popular as well. And I feel like Sheeta almost is like underrated to an extent of how good she actually is.
I don't think they expected the Hayter thing to pop off the way it did.
Yeah, no, but once they announced that it was the main event earlier in the night, I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, like give them that time because this is going to be good. And it was. And it was. The thing, though, I will say, and we talked about it earlier on Firmly AW with Drew this morning, at the end, as you would expect with Britt Baker involved and blah, blah, there was some bullshit that happened. And Saraya ended up coming out, and the Dynamite ended with Toni Storm, Sheeta, and Saraya standing in the ring, staring down Britt, Hayter, and Rebel. And I posed the question, to Drew that I guess I could post to you two gentlemen. I said, okay, so we got in 3 weeks' time, we have the Dynamite that is in LA, where Saraya has a mystery partner against Britt and Hayter. You know us wrestling fans, we like to work ourselves into shoots every so often here.
It's gonna be Banks.
I obviously think there is a lot of things going down that would make a lot of wrestling fans think that it could happen. I'm one of those people. We would all love it. The ending of Dynamite last night, the match was phenomenal. Even the end with the run-ins was cool. Like, it was great. But I'm staring there looking at Saraya, Sheeta, and Storm, and in my brain I'm going, it ain't gonna be fucking It ain't gonna be Sasha Banks. It ain't gonna be Mercedes. It's gonna be one of these two.
No, it's gonna be Thunder Rosa.
People are throwing her name out there too, which I'm okay with. But I feel like
the only other person I'm trying to think in my brain of who Saraya has history with. And there is quite a few women that she's worked with over time, or, but I don't think it'll be AJ. No. I don't. There's a little part of me that's like very slim chance that it might be Naomi.
It could,
because they've had history.
Yeah.
Could they? Oh, go ahead, Josh.
No, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you think they could do something where maybe the partner is a Thunder Rosa, and then after the match, they're, Britt Baker, Hayter get the win or something, they're beating them down, and then maybe Sasha comes out?
Everyone really wants Sasha, Mercedes, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know if they're going to get it done, but
I don't. I feel like, in my opinion, Sasha has her head set in Japan, and while that doesn't mean shit, she could still easily work. Well, I guess in this world at the moment, really, there's a lot of rumblings going around that she could probably work anywhere and still work New Japan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we don't know what's going to happen with. I mean, until January, what is it? January 4th? Is it the?
No, it's the week after that. It's the one.
No. Wrestle Kingdom. I'm talking about.
Oh, Wrestle Kingdom is I think the 4th, 5th, and 7th.
Until that happens, and we see what she does at New Japan, Stardom, whatever, because it's the whatever. Until that happens, and we see what happens there. If for some reason that all these rumors aren't true and she doesn't show up at New Japan, then one would probably lean towards maybe that she's going to be Saraya's partner at whatever the show's called.
It's just a Dynamite at the.
It's just Dynamite.
She couldn't do both. Is the schedule?
No. I'm not saying she couldn't do both. I'm just saying that until that happens, and then we go, okay, she's in New Japan. Now what? If she wasn't to show up at Wrestle Kingdom, then a little part of me probably leans towards she's going back to WWE. But if she does show up, then I think maybe the door is a little more open to her. Again, that means
I thought you said
like New Japan and AEW clearly have a relationship together. You would think.
And I'm not saying that WWE and New Japan don't, because Carl Anderson's working.
Never open.
So like, it's not that there isn't possibilities. I just think more so that if she does show up at Wrestle Kingdom, I think there is almost more of a chance that she shows up in AEW as well to work both. But I think if she wasn't to show up at Wrestle Kingdom, part of me more so believes, I'm like, all right, something's happening with her in WWE and maybe the Rumble or something like that. Because it's Rumble season 2 on top of this, so you never know what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble.
It's true. And
I mean, she could easily just work the New Japan date and then say she's going to sign after just because she wants to do it. I mean,
or she could easily work the New Japan date and say, I'm not working in America.
Yeah, that is true.
You never know. She does things a little different. It seems like she wants to be whatever she does. She wants to be very much in control.
And I'm going to ask you. I'll ask you, gentlemen. And I wanted to bring this up tonight with JPJ. We have Josh hanging out. So if you're in the chat, make sure you drop it. Where do you think Sasha's going to end up? What do you think Sasha's plan is? You got anything you want us to talk about? Drop it in the chat. We're free for all. But what I was going to bring up is I saw the news report or the rumor that the reason she exited months ago quietly because they didn't feel she was Charlotte or Becky money worth. And I saw that, and I'm thinking to myself, how do you not see the
I
value.
don't know if I
You know what?
believe it.
Yeah,
Because
okay, first of all,
I don't want to believe it either. So do you guys? For one, do you believe it? Two, if it's true, what is Sasha Banks not doing that Becky and Charlotte do?
I would like to know. I'm assuming this was the Vince McMahon thought.
I was gonna say, because if this sounds more like a Vince McMahon thing because of
Because
where
I would
they walked out or whatever, and he was like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
I would
you,"
completely. It's the same reason why Bray Wyatt was hard to work with
yeah,
Right.
and all
that's
this
what-
shit. So
right.
when I hear this, and first of all, I don't believe that the people running the show now, as in Triple H, feels that way. I don't believe he
Stephanie,
would
I
feel
should
that
say
way. And
too.
Stephanie, Triple
Yeah.
H,
Nick
probably
Khan,
Nick Khan to an
Stephanie,
extent.
Some people, I feel like by the way, just interjecting, some people like to say it's a WWE run by Triple H. I'm like, well, technically, no. He
Yeah.
runs the creative, what we see on television, but
Correct.
Stephanie McMahon is the chairwoman of WWE right now. At the end of the, I guess, what she says goes.
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, I feel like, especially in the women's side of things, all the women have always said Stephanie's great. They actually, I never really hear a bad word about Stephanie. Everyone kind of says like Stephanie's easy to approach. She's very easy to deal with. She's always kind of championing for the right things.
Yep.
At least what we've heard in the perception is that Stephanie is easy to work with in that sense. I feel like Sasha has left during the Vince McMahon era. It's been settled, and Sasha's just gone, I'm done. I don't want to deal with any of it. It's sour. It's toxic. I don't like it. But I feel like if Stephanie, even Triple H has a track record with all of those ladies and with just people in general, if they could sit in a room, do you think they could work something out in a year, in 2 years?
So. Easily.
I don't think so. I think what I'm saying is no matter what Sasha does, whether it's AEW, New Japan, I don't think we've seen the last of Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
At least
I don't think so.
Maybe
either.
for now, but
And the Babyface comment, if you would put that up.
Yeah, he
What if
said,
New
"What
Japan-
if New Japan and AEW?"
I'm
split the
hearing New
cost? She
Japan
works
don't got
both.
any money.
What is it?
I don't follow a ton of New Japan. I need
Yeah.
to. It's like my 2023 resolutions follow more New Japan. But the things I've seen, the reports I've seen, is they don't have any money.
Well,
Oh.
they
They're
need a
trying to-
good boatload to bring her there.
And that's
from
what I'm
all
saying. Like
reports.
they're having trouble.
She ain't
signing,
charging cheap over here.
They're having trouble signing some of their talent now. I don't know how you come up with Sasha Banks money, but if you can, you do it. And again, I think this all stems to like what we kind of talked about with Mandy Rose and we talked about with Adam Cole, especially with Sasha Banks. She wants to do. I think she's more well known outside of wrestling than Becky and Charlotte, maybe by a hair because she's been in The Mandalorian. She wants to do all those things, and she can't do those things and have that freedom to control her narrative, for lack of a better term, under the WWE umbrella, because they'll say, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Yeah, you can do this if we get a cut. So maybe she's thinking this is the perfect time for me to go work these other promotions, still do whatever I want to do.
Wrestle less, by the way.
Wrestle less. And that's the thing. And I know the AEW hater group shits on AEW and says it's an inferior product and it's beneath Sasha Banks, but you wrestle one time a week, maybe two if you do Rampage, and you're done. And then you have the rest
Not for
of the
women.
week.
Women aren't working 2 times in 1 week in terms
Usually
of like
not,
the same.
Well,
the same woman is not working.
I'm saying, but you could. You in theory could.
Yeah,
if
in theory, could. Yeah.
you work your two matches a week, which is mainly on the same night. They tape Rampage on Wednesdays. So you come in on Wednesday, you do your shoot, you go, and you have the rest of the week to do whatever you want. You can wrestle indie dates if you want.
Plans to. She wants to do more acting. It's pretty clear that I think that's what she's referring to in a lot of these things. Is like she wants to do more, and not only that, like you look at the 2 franchises she's been a part of. Star Wars. What is Star Wars owned by? Fucking Disney.
Yeah.
Like you're in the door.
Yeah.
Like you've worked on. I know sometimes Star Wars actors get a little pigeonholed of just Star Wars, being in the Star Wars world, but it's owned by Disney. Like she's been on Disney Plus. Like not a lot of actually pretty much everybody in that in WWE have not been on Disney Plus from my understanding. Like she's the only one. So save your body, work less. Sasha's still really young, by the way. I think a lot of people
she's like
forget
only
is that
30. Like she's like not
she's
old
young.
by any means.
So and not only that, take a little bit of a break from all this. Go work your New Japan stuff. I think Sasha's always had a dream of working in Japan. And this is a way to do that. If you want to go work AEW, then sure, make more money and do that. Wrestle less. And then, one day it'll happen again where the boss is back. But I don't think it's anytime soon. But who really knows in the wrestling world that we're in? We really can't say for
It
sure
could change
what the fuck is
tomorrow. She
happening.
could sign tomorrow. Be
And
like,
then,
"I'm good."
on top of all of that, it's like what, a month, and it's the Rumble. It's the best time of the best event of the whole year. There's, even shit Rumbles are still real fun.
Yeah. And Drew saying she went to Japan really early. If the report of her being there now is true, it doesn't feel like she would just be showing up to make an appearance if she's already there. Yeah. Feels like it's something more. It does. It feels like she's going to, it feels like, so Kairi Sane, who is the new, they just came out with the IWGP women's title over there. She's the champion. She's already scheduled to fight somebody on, I think, night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom. And
How
a lot
many
of
nights
people,
of Wrestle Kingdom is there, by the way? Like 40? How?
there used to be 2, but last year there were 3. I don't know if they're still doing the 3 this year.
I don't
they're
watch
back
New
to the
Japan
2. I have
at
no
all.
idea.
I only ever watch Wrestle Kingdom, but that's all I watch of New Japan.
But a lot of people are thinking that Kairi Sane will have her match with, I don't know the person she's wrestling, but they're having a match already. She's already booked for a championship match on night 1. The thought process is what some people think is that possibly Mercedes Moné, I think would be her name. She's going to fight the winner, which would probably be Kairi, I would think, on night 2 or night 3, whatever they're doing.
Night 44.
Yeah. And Baby is agreeing
Wrestle
with Drew.
Kingdom in May.
I was gonna say about when you asked us about that report of like they don't view her on that level. To me, that seemed like a Vince McMahon thing from the jump. I think the only reason why he wouldn't view her on that level is because if she doesn't like what's going on, she actually opens her mouth about it.
Yeah.
And I think that would be the one thing where he would look at Becky and Charlotte and be like, well, they do what they're told. They do what they're told type of thing. Maybe not Charlotte. I haven't heard reports of Becky throwing any. You don't hear reports of these other people
but
doing the things that Sasha does.
To preface it, though, it's all a matter of he said, she said anyway, because we don't know diddly squat. By the way, I know we're moving away from Sasha, and we're probably going to wrap things up soon and whatever, but Charlotte Flair has not returned yet.
She's just waiting in the weeds.
She's probably going to return in the Rumble.
In the Royal Rumble.
She's probably going to win it.
I was going to say, she'll be in the Final 4, and everyone will be like,
and I can't wait.
Charlotte.
Don't even
everyone's just going to be blacking out, and it's going to be like,
prediction now. She'll be the Final 2.
It should be. It should be Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair as the last 2, and everyone's freaking out that Charlotte's going to win it. And it should be
in the last
it could
2.
be. Yeah, especially if they're still planning on.
Ripley's going to work Belair at the Rumble.
At the Rumble, you think?
I think it should be Mania, but I think it's going to be the Rumble, and then Charlotte's going to work with Belair at WrestleMania. Which, by the way, will be fantastic.
Oh, it will be. I want Ripley.
I know. Everyone gets on Charlotte Flair, but it's going to be hilarious.
No, you know me, Josh. I'm a pro Charlotte.
No, but I mean, like in the terms of like, I know how the reaction is going to be to that. But Charlotte and Bianca could be something really, really special.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God.
And that's Bianca's final piece to just put it away.
She's beaten them all.
Story from the Rumble to Mania between Charlotte and Belair would be just top notch. I think that they would tell it because Charlotte's a great promo.
And Charlotte just needs to be that heel. She needs to be that heel.
This is my house.
Charlotte Flair. I'm Charlotte Flair. I'm bred to be here, and that's what Charlotte. You don't need to do anything extra with Charlotte's character. Play on the fact that everybody hates you. Play on the fact that you get handed everything. That's when Charlotte operates the best. I think I can speak for 90% of us when I say we don't want to see Charlotte Flair as a babyface. No. It's like seeing Ric Flair as a babyface. No, you didn't want to see it. It's just a better heel. There's elements of Charlotte that can be liked, sure, but Charlotte is very unrelatable because not everyone's dad was Ric Flair.
Yeah,
it's not relatable.
Wrestling, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not relatable, and you need to play on that more and lean into the fact that the internet hate you because you win all the time. Win more. That's how I personally see that Charlotte should be booked. I hate being that person, but like booked. But like Charlotte Flair coming in and winning the Rumble would make people mad, and it would only make you like Belair more, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And know, at the end of the day, people like to bitch and moan about like Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte Flair produces in the ring.
Oh,
and Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair will produce a fantastic night 1 WrestleMania main event, in my opinion. So, it is what it is. And Charlotte Flair will probably more likely return in the Royal Rumble match.
I mean, it makes sense if she's ready to go. I mean, that's a big. I mean, she's Charlotte.
She's ready to go. Surely
she
she's
has
ready
to be,
to
right?
go. She's ready to be back. It's just it doesn't fit right now. I can tell you this though.
If
a
she
lot of
came
people-
back right now, she would overshadow all of the stuff they're doing.
I think she'll get a little bit lost in the shuffle too,
Yeah.
because it looks like we're building towards Ronda and Raquel.
And whether you're with it or not, and it's working or not, he is Triple H or whoever's in charge of that whole thing is really trying to establish some more of this women's talent. And if you just throw Charlotte back, everybody's going to go, oh, well, Charlotte's back. That's out the window. So he is giving her some time off, which she, earned and needs. And then you're building a women's division. So when Charlotte does come back, you have credible people, hopefully, to face her. Because what'll happen if you just threw her in the mix right now and said, Shotzi versus Charlotte, we know what's happening there.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
true.
think it's
But-
the right move.
We can just look at it this way. I would rather Charlotte Flair in that spot producing good matches than Ronda, because Ronda's
Yes.
the shits in the tits,
Yeah.
But the
I
amount
agree,
of money
even
they're
though-
I don't
paying
hate. I
Ronda-
don't. And you know me. I don't like to be that person that's just bitching and moaning. But when it comes to that, it's just like you are just a shell of what you used to be. You're not delivering in the ring. You're not delivering on the microphone. You're not delivering in terms of star power. Because guess what? Ronda Rousey is not relevant anymore. I'll just put it that way.
What would you do with Ronda though? If you're paying her, so you got to do something. Would you just sit her at home after?
No, I wouldn't sit her at home, but I also don't think I'd have the title on it, because Ronda could work a program that doesn't necessarily need the title. Because while I say she's not relevant, she still is a step above a lot of people there. Put her in a tag, like have her and Shayna be.
Her and Baszler
tag
should
team.
be a tag team. Yeah.
They should be tag team champions, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
all respect to Damage Control, but like they could run a division and just dominate that and give us, and just let them do their thing. And I think they would have better matches together. To be completely honest, there's a spat all over my microphone. Yeah. But like, that's my opinion. That's how I do it. And then you'd leave the kind of, other stuff or whatever. But, it's just, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I think that we could talk about Ronda Rousey. I don't think that I just think when you look at her first run, I always had praise for Ronda Rousey, because I was like, she's delivering, but she's come back
getting better and better and better.
and then
each
she's
match.
come back, and I can name one good match that Ronda's had since she's been back, and it was the I Quit match with Charlotte.
Yeah, and that was because I was with Charlotte.
Yeah, match at Mania was
throwback
not
in the
great.
house.
Yeah, throwback saying Merry Christmas, guys. And he's basically saying, by the way, Ronda is very disinterested this time. You can see it, and you could see it in how that Shotzi match went. And,
And hi, Brody. Hi to
hi, Brody, the little one. Hi, Brody.
Love Brody.
Ronda did. I saw a video of Ronda, or
I've seen that,
where she felt bad for Shotzi, and it seemed genuine to me.
I'm not going to comment on whether Ronda is disinterested, because I have no idea.
Yeah,
what goes
it
on
just
in
seems
Ronda
like
Rousey's
there's
brain,
something
but-
off this time around. And disinterested, I understand why Throwback says that, because it just seems like, and I get it, you were gone for 2 years, you had a child, like I get it, things happen, you were gone for a little bit, but like, how could what we see that first year, where like people were talking about how it could possibly be the best rookie year ever for a performer, and then she comes back, and I get it, a couple years ring rust, she had a child, like I understand. She comes back, and it's just like, it doesn't even look like the same person. You know what I mean?
It's just so.
Hab guy, in
and
the
the
house
Hab guy
has been
saying, "Hello, good to see you."
lurking.
He goes, "I've been here lurking, but
What's up, buddy?
Ronda is just can't watch her. Just can't watch."
Bebe
Yeah,
says,
it's just.
has she ever been interested?
I mean, she seemed interested that first year.
Again, I
to
don't
me.
know. I'm recklessly speculating. I don't have.
Oh, we
I
got
don't have-
Lawrence popping in saying
Lawrence,
hello as
our
well.
lawyer. What's up, buddy? Hey, you're going down this week in fantasy. I'm taking that championship, bro. I'm coming after you. I have to start a backup QB. But anyway, what I say is like, so with, okay, we'll read that comment.
Well,
Look,
Hab guy
Ronda's
says the
face-
look on Ronda's face seems to me to show, let's get this over with and get me out of here. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's a wrong assessment.
Again, I don't know, because I'm not an insider. I don't have the scoops. I'm not at the Rousey household hanging out. But that
What is
first
it,
run,
Browsy Acres? Is that what they
Browsy
have?
Acres, right? Something like that.
Browsy
but I
Acres. that gets
feel
them
like
fucked
that
up.
first run, she had to knock it out of the park. Like it had to succeed, or it would have felt, you know what I mean? Or she'd been
Also, there was
laughing
way
back-
more eyes on Ronda Rousey in the first run. There's less
First run,
eyes.
Because
so
it was like
she's
right
putting in-
after the UFC stuff the
and-
first time. Like she
and
was
she
still.
put in, and she was put in good spots with like her first matches with Kurt Angle and Triple H
and
they're-
Stephanie. She
and
did
it's
that moment at
very
WrestleMania
heavily-
with The Rock.
Yeah,
Like she was
heavily
put in these
choreographed.
moments. You know?
This go around, they're expecting like, okay, so you gave us that first year and you killed it. You need to carry this division because we are devoid of talent right now because of all the releases and things, and they expected her to kind of carry it and progress, and she just has not.
Her matches with Liv weren't good. Her matches with that match at WrestleMania with Charlotte wasn't necessarily bad. I just think it was really distant to what we thought it was going to be, and it just come across as like meh. But her I Quit match with Charlotte was fantastic. They had
Yeah,
a
it's very
great
good.
match. But then like, can you name one other match that you've loved of hers since the I Quit match?
No.
Because I genuinely can't. Like she had a match with Natty, I think that was like average at best. Like the Extreme Rules match with Liv Morgan at Extreme Rules was not great.
No.
The match with Shotzi obviously was pretty
Rough.
brutal.
Yeah. Sure.
And now, like, do you really see, again, I'm not going to talk spoilers of SmackDown, but it seems pretty obvious that they're building towards Raquel and Ronda. And does that interest you at all? Because
Not really.
I'm not either of those two's biggest fans. The SmackDown women's division needs a little bit of needs something up the arse of
Uptick,
that one.
yeah. Well,
Jesus
I
Christ.
thought that's where Becky was gonna go and
Yeah.
take over, but it looks like we got
Raw's
some more
women's
comp-
division is
Oh,
boy,
Raw's
man.
women's division is wonderful.
And
Yeah,
then-
and Throwback saying this is the stuff he rants about. He goes, how predictable things can make wrestling bad. He goes, again, WWE has become extremely predictable when it comes to some of their shows. And he basically said he just is saying that WWE is extremely predictable.
And
But
baby,
I don't agree with that, but
well, here's my thing, and I don't think Lauren saying, "Don't worry, you're all getting Lacey Evans real soon."
Oh,
let's not
boy.
bring up her.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going
and
down.
I
that
was just
road.
gonna
It's a
say,
Christmas show, Lauren.
what Hab guy says. Predictable doesn't always mean bad. Like
No.
sometimes the
Yeah, I
predictable
agree with
thing
that.
is the right thing.
Yes. We've said that many times to each other, JPJ.
Yeah.
Predictability isn't bad.
Like
It's
guess
just-
what?
we
It's
all
very
do.
predictable.
Don't
that
do a
somewhere...
swerve just to do a swerve.
Exactly. Oh, we got Mrs. Pluggo popping in
Mrs.
saying hello to everybody.
Pluggo.
Hello. Here's my thing,
Here, I
right?
got the tree.
When Roman Reigns inevitably,
Oh my God,
predictably,
I thought that was a slug. I did not know that was a Christmas tree.
Oh, it's a Christmas tree mug.
Oh, I thought it was a slug. Well, there you go.
This is Pluggo box.
when Roman Reigns predictably and inevitably
And I got the
beats
Christmas
the shit out of
presents right
Sami
here.
Zayn,
Ready to
and then
go.
Sami Zayn has the one-on-one match with Roman Reigns, and then it leads. That's going to be very predictable. We all have known for a few months now that shit's going to happen. But when it happens, it's going to be fucking incredible.
Can't wait.
You know what I mean?
It was
Yeah,
like, it
well,
was like the
and-
Jericho Owens thing when, you know, someone's going to turn on someone at some point
Yes.
with these two. And then the Festival of Friendship happened. And it was the one time where I was that hooked into a segment where I went, oh my God, he's going to turn on him. It's happening
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And like, that's what it's going to be with Sammy. It's going to be the 1 week where we are so invested in this segment that it happens. And then you go, uh-oh, it's fucking happened.
Yeah.
But I just think that there's a lot happening in the world of wrestling that we should be very excited for. And listen,
Ronda ain't it?
oh, we're still talking about Ronda? Fuck yeah,
No,
she's
Well,
not
no,
in.
no,
we're
no.
not, we're not.
Well, I will say that Bebe did mention earlier that he's always a fan of people going to AEW, but not Ronda. I don't think the crowd would appreciate this. They're a work rate crowd. You saw the Sheeta Hater match it killed. Ronda's not putting on that type of match.
But
They would
here's the
kill
thing
her.
with Ronda is that she can.
She
And
can.
that's
don't
why
know
I have
she
a
doesn't
problem
want
with
to.
Ronda. That's why I have a problem with Ronda is because I've seen you work way better than this. Like I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And it's not happening anymore, and that's a problem. Do you think that I'll probably have to take off in a minute, but like to wrap tie this up, do you think Ronda's done? WrestleMania 39 is her last night?
Did she only come back? Was it only? Yeah,
I
'cause it
have
was
no
a- it was a-
I don't know.
Well, I vividly remember right when she came back at the Rumble of last year. I thought the report, whatever was, she's here for this WrestleMania and next year's WrestleMania.
Okay.
And my
Maybe
thought
she takes
process
some
was
time
they
off.
did the Charlotte thing last year, which it should have been Becky, but whatever. But the thought process was it's going to be Charlotte and then it's going to be Becky. And then I would assume she's probably gone forever. I cannot envision her coming back. Now, never say never in wrestling. Duh. But she has to know that this has not been good. She has to know.
Isn't it hilarious too that
you have to know? You have to have some sort of
just released-
self-awareness, and she has to know
either put
that
in
this
the
has
work
not been going that well. And I feel
they
like
released their top 50 women of the modern era, and she finished 9th. She's according to the WWE, she is the
What
9th.
is the modern era? Like, what
They
is that?
said 90.
Well, I'm
92,
sorry, but like
92.
so.
and,
Basically, like the
no, but hold on. The
and
modern
she finished
okay,
9th,
so
and Bailey finished 10th.
the greatest performer doesn't mean necessarily the best in-ring performer, right? It just
Correct.
means like it just means overall. Well, then it's Trish Stratus, and I don't care what anyone says to me. That's not even my favorite. Trish should be number one.
I think
Trish should be number one, right?
I think she was no. I think she was one, and Charlotte was 2.
I was going to say you can make an argument for
If I
Charlotte.
remember
Trish and
correctly, I
Lita.
think
Trish and
and
Lita,
Lita
the
too.
two-
Lita should be
like-
there.
Like Trish
Lita
and
was
Lita to me, like
7.
like Trish and Lita to me, like then listen, they're not working at the pace and the style that the women are now. The women now are much head and shoulders better than them in the ring.
Yeah.
But as overall presented as stars, like what is a great superstar? Like to me, Trish and Lita are the pinnacle.
All right, I got the
And
list.
you can argue between Trish and Lita, but like, and you can maybe throw in a few others. Like I don't know. To me, they're the two at the very top.
Here's your 10 from 10 to 1. Bailey was 10, and this is the WWE.
So Ronda Rousey's ranked ahead of Bailey.
Bailey was 10. Ronda was 9th. Lita was 8th. Alundra Blaze was
Alundra
7th.
Blaze was ahead of Lita.
Sasha was 6. Asuka's 5. China was 4. Then it's
China.
Becky, Charlotte, Trish. That's your top 10 according to the WWE in the modern era performers. Notable outside of the top 10s,
So-
Beth Phoenix at 11, Mickie James at 12, and then Alexa Bliss went 13th. That's what I'm saying. So they made this list. They were so high on Ronda that they felt comfortable enough after 1 year to put her 9th. And now she's having a year that we're all hoping to forget.
I guess that list. So they had Sasha at 6. Yeah.
No,
Hab guy,
it's
1000%.
like
Ronda ahead of
Trish-
Bailey is gross.
It's like
Right.
Trish,
Well, I thought
Lita,
they did that to
China,
get a
and
story out of it. I thought maybe you would use that as a story with Bailey
Oh, they
Ronda,
don't
and they
do that,
never
do
did. They never did.
no.
I mean, it's a WWE list produced by WWE. It means
Yeah.
really
They're gonna-
nothing.
Yeah, this
But
came out
to
in
me,
2021. Too.
I'm not
This
gonna
is not
sit
an
here and
old
argue.
list.
I'm not gonna sit here and argue a top 10 list, but like Trish Stratus to me is like the greatest female performer of all
100%.
time. Just in terms of, I mean, Trish was Trish for 6 years. She was. It was her and Lita.
She was the best one. She
Yeah.
was, She was the best.
No, so that's why she finished number 1.
But if you're talking like pure in-ring style, then it's completely fucking different. Like that whole top 10 is all different to me. Like I don't think there's a better worker that women have ever had, probably in my opinion. Again, not my favorite, but in my opinion of like in-ring work, probably than Asuka.
Yeah. Asuka's incredible. Yeah. If the list is in ring only.
Again, we're like we could see no person would probably agree with anyone's list.
No.
Yeah,
No,
they're so
of
they're
course.
subjective.
And like lists are so subjective. Yeah, exactly.
But
Like,
this
don't
is
get me wrong.
I
love me a good
company
list.
making this list. This
Yeah,
is
I
the
love me a good
WWE
list.
making it, you know, this isn't
Me
like
too.
us making
Yeah.
it. And to Throwback's point, this is the WWE's 50 greatest women's superstars. They released this early in 2021. Roxy was not in the company at that point, so she's not on.
Yeah, this isn't like a current thing they just came up with. Like Roxy
Yeah,
wasn't
this
in
is
there.
old.
Mandy
I
hadn't even
only
started
brought it
her
up
year
because
long.
This is how high Ronda's pinnacle was and how far it's kind of fallen. And I don't know if she'll ever be able to get it back or if she wants to get it back. Maybe she is like, you know what, let me just get through this deal and I'll go do my thing.
She could have came back. It could have been just a money grab, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go do this.
I
for
got
a year and a
kids
half,
now,
make,
so I
make
gotta
a
take that
boatload of
money,
money, and then I'm gonna
money,
be
yeah.
out of here. See you later.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway,
Whatever.
I know. Josh, I know you said you had to get out of here in a minute. Let the people know where they can. Oh wait, no, I have one quick question.
Okay.
Because I know you were on the NXT Deadline, which was a fantastic. I actually thought that show was actually really good.
It wasn't bad.
You were on that watch along over on the Fightful. Now,
Mhm.
I vividly remember us discussing one Grayson Waller
Oh,
a lot of
here we go,
times.
lad.
A lot of times, and you were very anti Grayson Waller.
Yeah, early
I
on,
happen
you
to
were.
think he was the perfect guy to win that match, and I think he should be the guy that takes the title off of Braun Breaker. Not because I like him, and he was one of my favorites. I just think he's the perfect guy to do so Breaker can go to the main roster, whatever.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Do you feel the same about Grayson? Because you did not like Grayson Waller at all.
Okay, some people probably think that I hate Grayson Waller because I think he's bad. No, I just know a lot of guys around here that are exactly like Grayson Waller, and they just shit me to tits. Like, they're the worst. Okay, they're the worst.
Yeah.
But like,
Say that
he
again, they
knows what
shit
he's
you to
doing.
tits?
He's also they shit me to tits. Yeah, he's
I've
just
never
the
heard that
worst.
before.
He's just like, I just know dudes exactly like him, and I do
Oh, yeah.
not hang around
Like
dudes
Drew
like
says,
that.
ew. It's just
Ew.
Ew.
But
But
like,
that's the
he is-
character, though.
Yeah, he's great at the character, and
Mhm.
he's like turns up that Australianness, and I'm like, stop doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that I probably sound like him to a certain degree. We have similar ways of speaking, but like the stuff he says, he always says mate after everything. He always
Yeah.
says lad. I'm like, oh, I hate you so much because I
Yeah.
know dudes exactly like you. But he's very good, and I do agree that he should be the one to probably beat
Mhm.
what's his face, because that is
Yes.
Yeah.
it's a good thing. I did
There
think
you go.
Deadline was it was actually a good time. Like
Yeah.
I did
I
too.
like those two matches.
The
They
two
were very
matches. Oh, yeah.
different.
Yeah. Did you think those two matches were
Yeah.
good for like a new
You know
style
what?
match?
First thing I thought of was I was like, these would be fun to play in a wrestling game.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like very
I just very much
that'd be fun.
I appreciated the sense of urgency from the
Mm.
opening bell to the last bell, the 25 minutes. I just really appreciated the sense of urgency of like, it was just like a balls to the wall. I need to win. And it was refreshing. I thought those matches showed up really well.
Yeah, they were really good.
But yeah, I just needed to know the Grayson Waller thing because I do remember you
Grayson
saying
Waller.
some
The Grayson
strong
Waller effect, or whatever.
yeah, some
The Waller
strong
effect.
anti
Speaking of-
Grayson Waller stuff. So I wanted to see your opinion
Before
on
we get you out,
Mm.
Big Ben saying, see, he sees 40 inches of combined hog on his screen right now.
Hey-o.
Jesus Christ. Hey, Big
Hey-o.
Ben.
Yeah, I
how
wrap
you
mine
doing?
around my leg.
I was happy. Yeah, I just let it dangle and hit my shoe.
No, I don't want to I don't want to go to prison if anyone's like, yeah, oh my god, he's wiener. But like, I just wrap it around. It goes around a few times, and he just
Yeah,
hangs
powerful.
It's powerful stuff.
Oh, Ben, always good to see you, my friend. We got to get you
Oh.
on this screen soon. But Josh, let the people know. First of all, thanks for hopping
Thank
in. This
you,
was very
yeah.
unexpected, but we
Merry
always love having you
Christmas,
here.
bro.
That's
And it
how
had
I
been a
do
little
things.
bit, so
Yeah, that's how I do things. I don't plan shit.
I love it. I love it.
Shows up
Christmas
whenever
week.
we're
Why
cool
wouldn't you
with
want
it.
one of your best friends hopping on and saying hello?
Exactly. You know?
But let the people know where they can find you. Let them know what you got coming up, and yeah, do your thing, man.
Well, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Josh Robinson _00. Don't really talk about wrestling that much on Twitter anymore because I just find it not the greatest fun in the world. But I'm still
You're
watching
so
wrestling.
good at it.
But I still am watching wrestling, and I'll engage if I feel it's needed to be engaged. Here and there, you'll see me tweet about wrestling. But every single Saturday, 1 hour after Rampage, so midnight for a lot of the people watching in the US. So every single Saturday, I'm dropping the legacy of right up until the
Yeah.
start of February. The legacy
Oh.
of by Pluggo. This is our show now.
Plug
This
goes
is the
out. Yeah,
power-
it's just us two.
This is the
Plug goes
power
out. I'm out,
hour.
bro.
The power hour is back. It's I dropped the legacy of. I just dropped an episode on Bailey last week. That was the big series return, and people seem to dig it again. So that's kind of neato burrito. So the legacy of Sable is coming this week.
Oh, I'm excited about
so
that one.
happy
Sable was
Christmas.
like, for my age,
Mm.
Sable was the first like bombshell kind
She
of.
was. It was her catchphrase, I believe, was "This one's for all the women who want to be me and all the men who come to see me." And then
Yeah.
she'd say that you boys ready for the grind, and then she'd just take off her clothes, and she was the
Yep.
most over person in the world. At one point, a little spoiler. I actually think I say this in the episode. I think at one point she was the most over person on the show, and all she did
100%.
was dance on an inflatable chair. Like
Yeah.
she didn't do a lot. It was a different time. But yeah, the Legacy of Sable is dropping. And I can say what's dropping next week, New Year's Eve, is the Legacy of Matt Hardy versus Edge, because there's something a little different. So like we can, I know that love triangle's been talked about a lot, but I've done something a little different. So I hope you guys are ready for that. But yeah, the Legacy of Sable is coming this week. Try and keep the love going for that. So if you can comment on that, that's my only wrestling content that I really create outside of Twitch, because I mean, I don't do a lot of content anymore, but it was hard to say no.
You
to
mentioned
Zach.
the Power Hour. I miss the Power Hour.
Me too. That is, by the way, that is not a JPJ thing. That is just purely for me, because I just have no time. I pretty much work full time now. I just don't have. There's not enough hours in the day, unfortunately, to do the Power Hour. But one thing I'll never get rid of is what me and JPJ do every single week. Some point in the week leading up to a WWE show, we do our Sims, and they are the most bonkers, insane.
Oh my God.
I look forward to them.
We got a little while because there's no events until the Rumble. So we have a little break.
But we got the Rumble,
we will. And I know we were like off screen talking about like, hey, maybe we should just pick a classic event and just kind of do like a stream of like an all time, like, WrestleMania 17 or like something crazy like that, and do a stream just so we could have one this month.
Yeah,
or at least early January before the Rumble or something like that. So stay tuned.
We still might do that, but it's just but we will do the Royal Rumble, don't worry. Sometimes we do it on the during SmackDown, sometimes we do it before AEW, sometimes we just do it when we kind of can. But you'll know more, and that's still a little while away. But yeah, you can follow me here on Twitch at @JoshRobinson_00. That's where it all kind of takes place and happens. But yeah, pretty much there every single month we do those. And yeah, you know what I mean? I still have fun. I haven't been streaming a lot lately just because purely I've been unwell and I've been busy and work, and it's Christmas time. But I'll try and hop in and stream when I can. And, you know me on Twitch at this point. I'm just an idiot that plays games, and I just have fun with it. We just finished Red Dead Redemption 2. That was so sad.
I was watching that live with you when it happened, and I was like, man, I gotta play this game again. But yeah, it was phenomenal.
Notice I was gone?
I noticed.
We noticed. We thought it was the Power Hour again. We're like,
that's what I was like. What the
I had to give him a little taste of the Power Hour.
That's what he did. They were like, hey. But you can go find old Power Hours on YouTube, so go do that and watch them, because
bring them back, boys.
Time. That was a fun time. Maybe down the line, but we'll see. Josh, have a Merry Christmas.
You too, guys.
I know you said it'll be hot as hell down there, but have a good Christmas.
We will.
I know you're feeling a little under the weather. Hopefully that fixes up for you so you can spend some time with your family and do that Christmas thing.
It's not COVID, by the way, guys. I'm negative to COVID, which is nice because that's going around at the moment as well. So
it's going around. It's going around here as well. So
everyone's been sick in my family. Everyone's been sick at my workplace. I knew I was bound to get it. It just had to happen 2 days before Christmas. But it is what it is. Hopefully I'm just going to go and chill for the next today and tomorrow and just kind of like, veg out and just lay on my couch and just try and beat it with some sleep. That's sometimes the best thing that you can do. But you guys have a good Christmas, and for everyone that celebrates, have a lovely Christmas. And we're getting ready for the new year. It's nearly 2023.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. We're so close, but you are always welcome to hop on here whenever you are free, my friend.
Absolutely. Doors
do not be a stranger. I know you will not be with us, but on screen and stuff like that. Whenever you're free, you just give us a holler and you can hop on here. So.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Have a good rest of your day where you are. You have a whole day ahead of you, right?
I'm going to go have a sleep. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is it nighttime?
No, it's. Can you not see the light?
Well, that's why I said you say you're going to take a nap.
I'm sick. I'm not very well.
Oh, you're sick.
Got it. I'm going to go lay down on my couch.
Like you dream about? I was like, I did a show with this guy for almost a year. Like, I know the time difference. Like, what? It's not.
It's 10 to 1, so it's nearly 1 p.m. here.
Okay.
I'm going to have some food and then lay on my couch and just like
veg out.
Josh, we love you, buddy.
All right, Josh. Always a pleasure. Merry Christmas. We love you. We will see you very, very soon, my friend.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. That was Josh Robinson. We love Josh around here. Josh used to have a weekly segment called Josh Unhinged with Josh Robinson. Maybe we can talk him into doing that.
It doesn't have to be wrestling. I liked when he didn't do the wrestling one.
Oh, the best ones were the ones that he didn't talk about wrestling.
Yes. Well, maybe we'll get him back in. So sorry about my abrupt exit.
Yeah, I think he went to vomit, to be honest with you.
We'll just say I don't want to be cool like the kids in Billy Madison.
You pee yourself?
I almost did. I unprofessional. We'll just go out Jump Street. I keep it honest. With
I
you
mean,
people.
only the cool people, the
Only the
coolest,
cool, and I'm not cool, so I
pee
was
their
like,
pants.
literally, I'm sitting.
You don't got a
here
bucket
going,
down there or something?
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I'm thinking like, how do I
It's right in front of you.
But
we
that
only can see from your tits up, bro. We can't
right,
see
but
anything.
my setup is like there's not much room for me to make. So, I was like, you know what? Like it's coming. I don't think I can do it. I was trying to be a professional. I had to make the hustle upstairs. Mrs. Pluggo goes, "What happened?" I said, it just had to happen. And then like my son, little Owen, is like, "Daddy, why are you running by? What's going on?" And like, just there's a hot mess. But I tried. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're here now. That's all that matters.
We're back. Josh held it together for us. Sarah Mays is saying bye, Josh. Bye. We love Josh. Go follow Josh. He's amazing. He's a fun follow. He's a great person. Jesus, bro, take a break. Don't pee in a jug like Kevin Nash did. Right. So I have the also, the Mrs. Pluggo factor. Like, is she gonna walk down here and just see me pissing in a jug? So I was like, I got it. And I
what does that have to do with anything? You just let her know, hey, look at it.
Doing what I gotta do.
We gotta do what we gotta do. You want to make big boy money, you gotta do big boy shit. And that might be peeing in a bucket.
Right.
Throwback. I will tell you this. What do we think about the possibility of Lesnar and Gunther? Yeah. That's what I think of that. Give that to me all day. Gunther needs to win that match, though. So
shout out for using that highlighted message as well, Throwback.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Dude.
Appreciate that. And I assume little guy like that, he's gonna be asleep. It's late. It's 9:21.
I mean, if I wasn't on here, I would try to be asleep.
100%. I would be half asleep on my couch right now if we weren't doing this. Guaranteed. That wouldn't be my plan, but I'd be like, I'll watch this. Yeah. But all right. We announced it. You saw our tweet a little bit earlier today. We announced it at the top of the show. Next week, the second annual Beardy Awards. We released the nominees that you can go vote for today. It is through Survey Planet. If you go to our Twitter at B2Beards, you can get the link and you can go and vote. We are going to run through.
Vote early, vote often.
Yeah, it's not a one time and go. You can vote as many times as you want.
If you love somebody and you want them to win,
spam if you want it. I mean, it is what it is.
I don't care.
But we are going to run through the 11 awards with the nominees. If you guys want to tell us who you think should win, you want to give us your opinions in the chat as we run through this, that would be amazing. Just let us know what you're thinking about these awards. We're going to run through them right now. And then you know what? It's Christmas week. Wait, you said you wanted to have a Christmas draft.
Yeah, just free for all. Christmas draft. Anything goes, whatever you want.
So we will run through these awards.
Let's preface these awards by saying we don't watch. A lot of this is heavy on the North American side of things.
Correct.
With it. WWE,
a lot of AEW, it's a lot of WWE. We did throw in, there is one New Japan guy in one of the awards. There is an Impact person. So there's an independent wrestling awards too. And again, those are just people that we really enjoy watching. That had a good year. So understand that we try to watch as much as we possibly can, but it is hard. Yeah. So here's Throwback also asking us, do you consider Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie? I don't know what he means by Pluggo Return Home. Does that mean on his show?
Yeah,
that's what I'm assuming, right?
If the schedules align, baby, I'll come join.
The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie, but I associate it more with Halloween.
If you're still in the chat, drop your favorite Christmas movies. I want to hear them because you know what I like to do for the next few days. I'm just gonna. I binge. I watched Santa Claus and Home Alone right before the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spam watch a bunch this weekend. That's what I do. So drop some of your favorite Christmas movies. Let us know your favorite Christmas traditions. Let's just talk a little Christmas, then we'll get out of here after we run through these awards real quick. Do you got them pulled up, JP?
I got them pulled up. We're good.
God, you're a professional. I am.
You're damn right I am. You're damn right I am. All right. So the 2022 Beardy Awards. Bebe, absolute classic. Absolute classic.
Yes.
We did a Christmas movie draft last year. I feel like we could do a Christmas movie draft every year, and the results would probably be different every year.
Yeah.
But this one, we're just going to do Christmas everything. So you can pick movies, you can pick songs, you can pick presents, you can pick whatever Christmas. We're just
fight
throwing
with
everything
your
at the wall.
family if that's what you do.
I mean, who the fuck's going to pick that? Come on, let's be real.
Well, it's
Tom
the
Brady
two
hung
of
around with
us,
his family
so
for 3 years and 3 months, and he was like, "I gotta unretire. I gotta unretire. I can't do this." All right. So we have. Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about that.
You're gonna have to explain that to me.
Yeah. So Pluggo didn't watch Dynamite last night, so I mean, baby, you were with me. You were with me. Pluggo's going to give excuses. There's no excuse. I'm a professional. I watch wrestling when we talk about wrestling.
I had to make some moves to get things where they needed to be this week, so I will watch it later.
All time is Tim Allen the Santa. I mean, the Santa Claus is good, but Tim Allen's a piece of shit. Anyway,
the Santa Claus is
good, but
although that kid, his kid in that movie doesn't listen for shit.
Yeah, his kid in that movie is also a little bitch. Anyway. Oh God. All right.
But love this
for everybody that might not have watched AEW Dynamite, Bebe, you already heard my opinion on it on Firmly AEW, so I won't go into detail because Pluggo hasn't watched it. So there, Swerve created a new faction last night. They're called something Moguls something. Okay. I forget the name already. That's how much it didn't stick with me. But Rick Ross was there. He called out Keith Lee. He called out Swerve. Swerve then basically told Keith Lee to watch his back, and Parker Boudreaux debuted. And he tried to take out Keith Lee. Keith Lee then fought him off. And then there was another guy who I have no idea who he is. Drew did tell me what his name was, but I think it's Tom McDonald or something like that. I don't know. There was another big tattooed guy that debuted. And Rick Ross aligned with Swerve. And it's Rick Ross, Swerve, Parker Boudreaux, and this other guy.
Wasn't he in the Trustbusters?
He was in the Trustbusters, but now he's with Swerve. Okay. Tattooed baseball guy. Yeah, he was a minor league baseball player up until like last year. AEW signed him. He's a big muscle guy with tattoos. I don't know. Ink Man, as Ab guy said. Yes.
Ink Man.
And they created
this sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it did not hit the way it should have hit, I think. But like I said earlier today on Firmly AEW, Swerve is talented enough with me that yes, I am willing to give him time to see what's going on there. But it was Mogul Affiliates. That was the name of the group. Mogul Affiliates. Love Actually is incredible. That is a great Christmas movie. I actually watched it last week.
See, Swerve for me always stands out when and I don't mean this in a slight, with like lesser, with lesser people around him. If you're going to be because he's a star. But when you put him with a guy like Keith Lee, like it's really cool, but it also overshadows what Swerve is because Keith Lee's amazing too. So, like you said, I'll have to take a look at it tonight. I'll watch it and see what I thought. But just based on what you said, it sounds like he's got some work to do.
The segment itself, listen, the segment itself wasn't the greatest, but I'm in. Rick Ross was excellent, and that's twice now that Rick Ross has been just dope as hell. Rick Ross actually on air called Keith Lee a big motherfucker. On air.
Oh, did he?
Yep. Didn't even get edited out. He just looks at Keith Lee and he just goes, "You a big motherfucker." Amazing. It was amazing. That was the only good part. Yeah, F-bomb got you. Exactly. That was the only good part of that segment is randomly they're waiting for Swerve to come out, and it's like kind of like 30 seconds where nothing's happening, and Rick Ross just literally looks at Keith Lee and just goes, "You're a big motherfucker."
And he ain't wrong.
No. That was the only good part of that segment. All right. The 2022 Beardy Awards. We have 11 awards. I'm just going to go in the order that they are on this survey thing. So the first one is Male Wrestler of the Year. We only do 5 nominees. Maybe next year we'll up until 10, maybe.
This was hard. This one was hard to whittle to 5 because there's so many guys out there that had a year.
But the 5 that are nominated are Jon Moxley, MJF, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Will Ospreay. Throwback already saying it should be Roman. That's hard to disagree with you. He's been the champion the whole calendar year. I am again. these are based on the votes. I would lean John Moxley. I think John Moxley has been
Did you
my
vote?
wrestler of the year.
Go.
Trust me, I already did. But you know. We have female wrestler of the year. We have Bianca Belair,
I think that's
Becky Lynch,
Yep.
Mandy Rose, Jade Cargill, and Jordan Grace. Oh my God, that was very funny on Monday when Theory was like, "You're the least famous of the three members of the Shield." Technically, not
And
wrong.
his face, he was like,
Uh,
"Oh,
yeah,
that's a good five. That's a good five on the women's." I know that we'll probably get some pushback on social medias from the Mandy Rose and maybe even the Jade.
give it to
But-
Mandy.
but
Mandy's got
Mandy-
enough.
But she held the NXT title for long. She kind of reinvented herself. I mean, we felt
yeah.
like we couldn't stay away from it.
Oh
And
yeah,
Jade's undefeated, and
correct.
you gotta respect it. So
Yep.
haters gonna hate, but those two definitely deserve to be
Throwback.
there.
If you want to give it to Mandy, go vote, man.
Go
You can
vote.
vote as many times as you want. It's not a one-time vote.
We had,
You-
by the way, we've got 11.
We do have 11.
11, and I put in a little comment section at the end that if you'd like to see us do anything in 2023 that we're not doing for you, kind of little like a, hey, give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Tell us how we're doing. If we suck, let us know. If you want us, if we're great, tell us that too. But also, hey, you want to see us do some things on the show that we're not doing? Let us know. We're open to that. But anyway, let's keep on pushing.
Yeah. We have tag team of the year. We have the Usos. We have FTR. We have Swerve in Our Glory. We have the Lucha Bros. And we have the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed. But those are the 5 for tag team of the year. Independent wrestler of the year. We have Effie. We have Billy Starks. We have Blake Christian. We have AC Mack. And
Also
we have, I
killed
know
it.
she just got recently signed, but for the majority of the year, she was unsigned. We
And
have
she's still
Willow
working
Nightingale.
and she's still working independence. So the independent wrestler thing, as I said at the top, is a very tough category to pick because you need to, like, I'm not Steven Jensen. Shout out to the Weekender. Steven Jensen rules. But like I watch enough and we watch enough to have an idea of who's hot and who's not. But Willow had a year. She's killing it. So and like even like some of the Impact people that I thought about putting on there, like the Cardona, who's still working indies, and Chelsea Green still working her indies as well. But they kind of were
Pee bucket. That's just pee bucket.
No, that's something. Yeah,
That's just pee bucket. There's piss all over the
I'm
ground
ready
right
this
now.
time. No, there's not.
Uh,
I ran upstairs like an
Throwback. We love Taryn from accounting, but we avoided LPW wrestlers in this because on our
Because
channel,
they
Love
have their
Wrestling,
own.
we have our very own LPW awards that you can go vote on if you follow Love Wrestling on the social medias. Those voting has come up
Yes, and
and are available to vote on as well.
We didn't want to conflict with their voting because their polls kind of stand on their own. And no disrespect, we love Taryn. Taryn's our girl, and she had a great year. I'm just excited to see her 2023. I think she could potentially be in our discussion for Independent Wrestler of the Year once she starts moving down into the States a little bit and starts getting some more buzz because she had a hell of a year. But again, we didn't want to conflict with the LPW awards, which are also out now on this very Love Wrestling channel.
And Bebe, honestly, I do not know. I
will say this, just based on the conversations that I've had with Billy Starks, we've had her on
Billy
this show.
Billy Starks is on this show. If you go back
And-
into the archives on YouTube, she is on this show.
Just other interviews that I've seen her do, her big thing and her main focus, I think, with her and her family, and again, I'm not speaking for, I'm just speculating, is probably she wanted to finish up school.
Yeah.
I think that was the big thing, was like graduate, go to college. I think she still has intentions to wrestle and go to college. I can't speak for Nick Wayne because I don't know much on Nick Wayne, but I think she's just keeping her options open. She just appeared on AEW Dark.
Yeah, she
part
did.
of the tapings. So she's on their radar, and she just turned 18. So a lot of doors will open up for her. I think for her, it was just, let's keep our options open, see where we're at. Because why commit to the WWE or AEW when you're 17 years old? And again, Nick Wayne is a little earlier in his game.
You would hope that AEW is still kicking around in 4 years when she's 22 and has a degree, and she's like, you know what, let's go do wrestling full time, but I need something to fall back on as well. So
maybe Nick Wayne doesn't have the same. Maybe he's like, yeah, this is where I want to be. Let's do it. Let's get the contract signed. Like it's all people's personal preference or situation, but she's really smart. She's got good people around her that are giving her good advice, and she's killing it. So see where she ends up. But I would be shocked if she didn't sign somewhere, in the next year, maybe early 2024. Yeah. After another year of seeing what's out there, now that she can go wrestle in other places now. Because the thing is, too, licensing is big, and you have to get licensed, and some places won't license an under 18-year-old wrestler. So there's places she's probably never wrestled that she would love to before she signs.
Yep.
All
right, we have.
Yep, baby. She was on Dark. At least the tapings for
the tapings. I don't know if it's aired yet. I don't know. I
can't explain the Space Jesus, baby. That's just what she calls herself. That's her gimmick. That's what she runs with. I can't explain some other people's gimmicks. Like, that's just what she does, and she kills it. So
but she's been on the show. We had her on the show right towards the beginning, like almost towards last year. Yeah. Go check that out. That was a great interview. We had her on for the whole show. She was with us for the whole kick and caboodle. All right, so we have breakout star of the year.
Oh, fair enough, baby.
We have Konosuke.
I don't know it all.
We have Konosuke Takeshita. We have Solo Sikoa. We have Carmelo Hayes. We have Roxanne Perez. And we have Logan Paul. Breakout stars.
But the dude's a star.
Dude, Logan Paul. Arguably maybe had the match of the year with Roman Reigns. You can make an argument for it.
It's on the list for match of the year.
Damn right it should be. That match fucking ruled. Yeah. So I feel really good about those five. That's a good five right there. We then have match.
We got throwback saying Hayes never misses. Yeah,
he does. It never misses weird. Except when he loses his last 4 matches.
The breakout star thing does tend to lead a lot towards like the NXT side of things, because I don't think like AEW just hasn't had anybody this year.
Well, we gave Takeshita. Right. I feel like his breakout was because of his stuff with AEW. You know,
like
what I mean?
I do. You did talk me out of putting Hook on here this year.
We thought about Hook. We thought about Ricky Starks. The
problem with the Hook was that like last year he started off hot, and when we did the awards, he'd only wrestled twice, and you were like, you can't do that. And then he cooled off quite a bit mid-year, and then he's picked back up recently. So, I love Hook. I'm going to vote for Hook. I'll write him in.
Then we have match. It says match of the blank on here. It doesn't say match of the year, but it says match of the.
Huh?
That's all it says on the actual thing. When you click it, it says match of the, not match of the year. But anyway, match of the. We had throwback. We have an FTR Briscoes match. It was not the one from Death Before Dishonor. I actually think that was the worst match of the three.
It was the first one.
It was the first one that is in the match of the year. And when I say the worst one of the three, that doesn't mean that it's bad, because it was an incredible. Those 3 matches are all fantastic. I just think of the 3 matches that those boys had, the first and the third were more standouts than the second. But we have FTR versus the Briscoes 1 from Supercard of Honor. We have Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins from Hell in a Cell. Right, we have Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns from Crown Jewel. We have We have Gunther versus Sheamus from Clash at the Castle. And we have Anarchy in the Arena.
That ruled.
Yeah, so that's a good 5.
That was a tough one too, because there was so much good wrestling. Like,
yeah, I agree.
We could probably rewrite this list 10 different times. And I mean, we did. We edited it down and we threw things in and took things out. It's just, man, but that 5 for me, like God, Gunther Sheamus still like I think
Dude,
about
that's
that
my
to
pick.
this-
That's my pick right there. That's
that
my
your
favorite
pick?
match of the year. Yeah, my favorite match of the year. FTR and the
FTR
Briscoes, literally.
ruled
I
too.
think they probably should win because of the 3 matches we saw from them. Like I feel like they should be kind of like coronated.
Spoil-
Like, hey,
Spoiler alert, they're in the feud of the year voting
yes,
because of
yes.
it's so good.
Yeah. That was a very good match. You just got to understand that like NXT just sucks now. So like we don't really, you know what I mean? Just sucks. Debut.
Breaker was not a
No, that
bad
was good. No,
match.
that was good. I just think
But the problem with NXT is they're so few and far between on their good
correct.
matches.
And like NXT right now, even though Deadline was a fun show, but NXT now it just sucks. It's just not what it was, you know. So then we have debut / return of the year. All these are technically returns, so I guess none of them are debuts.
There was no
well,
debut,
some of them are
Cody
debuts and other
yeah. Other
well,
companies.
technically Saraya debuted in AEW, so that was a debut. But we have Saraya, we have Bray Wyatt making his return.
That was dope.
It was.
Oh.
We then have we have MJF with his return and winning the ladder match, which now led to him being the AEW World Champion. NXT boss got a chant on Dynamite, laugh out loud, and Have Guy said they didn't just deliver one incredible match. I agree. Yeah,
they did 3 trilogy. They had a hell of a year, and they did it all not on Dynamite. Impressive too.
Correct. We then had Cody Rhodes. I know that seems like so far ago, but that was this year that Cody Rhodes made his triumphant return at WrestleMania to WWE. And then somebody else that made their triumphant
wrestling
return to
has
WWE
more than one royal family.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. So those are the
After
options.
19 years, and then he did what he did at Mania. He deserved to be here.
Main evented.
I'll fight anybody that disagrees.
Main evented night 1 of WrestleMania.
You know what we forgot that we should have put match of the year: Sami Zayn versus the Jackass Crew.
It should have been Sami Zayn and Knoxville. That 100% should be at least an honorable mention.
We might have to make our own special award.
Still to this day, I feel like, and you know what, you were arguing a little bit for Sami Zayn as Wrestler of the Year. I was like, because so like our buddies in Fightful, they do a Wrestler of the Year and then a Performer of the Year. And Sami Zayn didn't get nominated for Wrestler of the Year, but he's in the Performer of the Year. And I felt like when we were just calling it Wrestler of the Year,
but everything
I didn't think Sammy
turned to gold.
But not for wrestling at all. It's not because of the wrestling.
But the wrestling against Knoxville,
that match was incredible. I feel like that was a match we missed.
That should have been
that. I still to this day think that was the most
WWE
that was the most enjoyable match of WrestleMania weekend for me personally. That match was a hoot.
That was dope.
All right, we have feud of the year.
This is where your Have Guy, your boys will get their love, their shine.
We had Yas versus BCC, so the Jericho, what is it? Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club. We got the Gravedigger 35. Hello, he said I stopped watching WWE a couple years ago, so I know I'm missing out on some good matches, but I just don't know if I can get back. Hey man, I feel like
dip your toe into the water.
I feel like dip your toe in. The Royal Rumble's coming up. I feel like the Royal Rumble's a nice, easy way to dip in because who doesn't love the Royal Rumble matches? I feel like that'll be a good way to dip in. Triple H is running the creative now, so you don't have to worry about, it's not the greatest thing. Like, it's a lot better in my opinion, but it's not like it's completely fixed, but you don't have to worry about all the crappy bullshit
I wouldn't
we were worrying
show
about
up
before.
on Raw and watch 3 hours if you're trying to get back into it. Maybe scour what Twitter's saying, and if you see a bunch of people saying like, oh, that Gunther Sheamus match from Clash of the Castle ruled, maybe just watch that. See where
you should. That match was awesome.
Yeah, and then expand yourself out a little bit. That's kind of how I do it with some things. Like when I want to dip my Impact, for instance, I was off of Impact for a long time because it was bad. But then slowly I started going, okay. And now it's become like I watch it weekly because I'm into it again. But yeah, so welcome to the chat show, Gravedigger. Nice to see you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're here every Thursday, 8 p.m.
Bray was another name that made an impact with Rock.
Yeah, that's true. Bray, yeah. And then he says, Hayes versus Grimes, but FTR versus Briscoes is feud of the year. I don't disagree, but Hayes versus Grimes did not make it because NXT sucks. But no offense. Okay, I shouldn't say NXT sucks because the black and gold was next level.
That's what a lot of people do, Grave. That's what we're here for. We'll chat you up. We'll get you going. Follow us on socials.
Follow us on socials at B2Beards. We'll help you dip your toes back in, brother.
Yeah, man.
We'll help.
All you gotta do is ask. We're always open for conversations. We'll let you know what was good and what wasn't.
But feud of the year, we have Yas versus the BCC. We have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. We have Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. We have Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and we have FTR versus the Briscoes. AEW is great. Me and Pluggo are big time AEW marks.
Yeah,
love AEW.
Even though I didn't watch yesterday because I suck, but I'm gonna watch it tonight or tomorrow.
I get it.
Look at
I watched Deadline. Deadline was good. I've watched the last 2 weeks of NXT too. For me, it's just not what it was. And that hurts me, hurts my soul.
Well, then that's part of it. This NXT, and they're starting to slowly integrate back into the things that we love. But when they decided to cut the black and gold, go to the 2.0, I'm not that audience. That's not for me. So like for me, for a long time, it was like, let me just watch Carmelo Hayes, Cameron Grimes. Yeah, I'll watch that match 100%. Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, I'll watch that match, whatever it may be. Like I'll jump at Roxy, Cora Jade. So there's good pieces there. But the stories aren't great right now. It is developmental, so there are trying some things, but that audience and that Vince McMahon idea of 2.0 was not for me. It just wasn't. So Deadline was a great stepping stone to make me go, I need to pay more attention to what they're doing because I thought that was a great show. We talked about it when we did the reacts. Fantastic step in the right direction. I have a lot of confidence now going into saying New Year's Evil is going to be good. Granted, it's not going to be as great now that Mandy and Roxy's not there, but Roxy versus somebody should be there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, new year, new NXT, who knows?
Yeah. And then he goes, and I read and watch highlights on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, so I'm familiar with most wrestlers. But hey. So your toes are already dipped in there.
Yeah.
Now you just gotta
go. You gotta make the cannonball. You gotta do that cannonball.
We have news story of the year.
This is what we threw in. Yeah, we had to throw it in.
Tony Khan purchases Ring of Honor. We have Mandy Rose being released. So that was the more recent one. We have Cody leaving AEW and returning to WWE. We have obviously Brawl Out and the CM Punk situation that came from that. And then we have, Vince McMahon stepping down and leaving the WWE.
He could have just stopped at one.
I think he should have just said news story of the year and just had that.
Yeah.
Other things will get votes, and all these 5 things deserve votes. But like Vince McMahon stepping down is, come on. For a lot of us, and by a lot of us, I mean mostly all of us, that whole thing, this is the first time we've watched wrestling with no Vince McMahon involved.
Yeah.
That's insane when you think about it. When you truly think about it, that is insane. I agree. Gravedigger, that was I would think if Vince didn't retire, I would think the Cody Rhodes thing would be the
Cody Rhodes thing was massive because he leaves AEW, his baby, his vision with the Elite, and it just started this entire firestorm of who else is going to jump. It started the craziness of who's jumping ship, who's debuting here. What happened? It gave AEW. It was crazy. It took over. I think this show we talked about it for over an hour when it dropped. It just was nuts. So like you said, had Vince not happened and then CM Punk not happened with the recency bias at the Punk thing, that's your story. So God, crazy stuff. The fact that the Cody versus jump ship too. Yeah, that I mean, and
Came
you know,
back
but the craziest thing is
as the
AEW
American
has been
Nightmare,
fine
same
without him.
music, all of it. It was like, holy shit, man.
Because he probably said, if you want me, I want to be able to present.
I got to go
myself
back as this. I need to go back and be presented a certain way because I'm not going back to be the guy wearing a fucking mask on his face. Even though I love that Cody Rhodes. Like, I love that Cody Rhodes. But it's a different level. It's a different level of things now. Like, he needed to be presented
I am
as a main eventer.
now.
Yes. And he needed to be presented that way. And he needed not only adrenaline in the soul. Cody
the Beardy
Rhodes
Awards
is
are
on the
next
show. But it's one of those things too where, like, and I'm sure it was presented, and this was still with Vince running it, but like Cody was probably like, hey, I need to be presented this way, not only for me, but for you. Because if you present me this way, when MJF's contract's up, when Ricky Stark's contract is up, when all these guys, Wardlow, all these dudes' contracts are up, they're going to look here and they're going to see the way you took care of me. And they're going to be like, oh shit, maybe I can go over there. Now Triple H is in charge. So I feel like the general viewpoint from the talent when they look at WWE is different now anyway, because Vince isn't there. But, Hab guy coming in saying he wasn't really surprised when Cody left. To me, it was like he left WWE to go down his own thing, and AEW was the last thing he had to do before returning to WWE. That could be true. That's definitely how they played it off.
In a weird way, like this was all, I think, a plan of Cody's when he left to say, look, I think you're making a huge mistake, because they weren't offering him money. I'm sure they would have signed him if they made sense, but he's like, I'm a main event player. I'm not Stardust. I'm not wearing the mask. I'm not dashing Cody Rhodes. I'm a main event star.
Yeah.
And watch what I'll do. He tore up he reinvigorated the indie scene when he jumped in. And then he made a name for himself. He built a company. He said, look what I can do. I can build a company doing 20,000 seat arenas on my back. And he put his body on the line in AEW and was having matches that he had no business having. Like, he didn't have to do that thing with Dustin Rhodes with all the blood. He didn't have to take that cutter from Sammy off those ladders.
And he went through the fire and the fire table and shit.
With Andrade.
He was doing all these things.
And putting all those people over. And then he basically left and said, you want me? Well, here you go. But it's on my terms, my money. I've just increased my value tenfold.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. He was coming back regardless. But he still don't know how I feel about 100% about the Punk Elite fight that happened. I was a Punk fan. I can't say I miss him in AEW. I'm honestly the same way. I'm a huge Punk mark.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Punk guy too. The way that everything went down left a sour taste in my mouth. It was like, hey man, like
there's money to be made.
And there's a reason why he's still on the trucks. He hasn't been released. They're gonna try to work that shit out, because if you can get money, if you can get CM Punk to hang around and you can have the locker room forgive him, and it probably will take a lot. He might have to go there and like formally apologize, whatever. I don't know. And then you go. Cody said that Vince said in his living room, the American Nightmare is what he was buying. It was the right call.
And he earned
Throwback
that.
saying, here's a good question, but also prediction. Do you see the Wyatt 6 going against the Bloodline, Imperium, and Judgment Day? I don't think the Bloodline will be a thing by next time we get to Survivor Series, because I think after WrestleMania, we ain't seeing Roman for a while. I think Roman's going to be, see you later.
6 is going to be a thing yet. They really, the Uncle Howdy's on.
They did the Uncle Howdy thing on SmackDown where you saw like a physical person, but that could not be a real thing. You know what I mean? Like that does to me.
I feel so bad for LA Knight, man.
I actually think he's been the star of this shit though.
Right.
I think he's been the best part of this stuff.
He's not winning it, and he needs a big win. Yeah.
Does he though?
I think so.
I don't know. I feel like he's doing okay.
He's doing it. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. My thing is, by next year's Survivor Series, the Bloodline will not be a thing. Sami Zayn will not be a part of it.
Yeah.
Roman, I think, will be
Sikoa
gone.
Shown he's ready to do his
own
thing.
And I agree with Pluggo. Like, I don't think they're gonna have a Wyatt. I think it's gonna be Alexa Bliss, Uncle Howdy, and I mean, I'm still not convinced that he's gonna end up with this large group.
My thing is, with Bray and the way
and there you go, right? LA Knight was great last Friday.
Yeah,
he did the Bray Wyatt impression, and he was freaking out.
Yeah.
And he was like losing his mind, like he's good. Let me talk to you. That guy's fucking good.
No,
and
it's
I think
not bad. I just don't want him to take the loss because he's been so good.
Exactly. Him shouting "yeah" and saying his name is good enough. Yeah, I agree.
The Wyatt 6 thing, I just don't envision Bray Wyatt coming down to a ring in a faction with 6 people. The characters popping up throughout.
I think the Wyatt 6 are his alter egos.
Right, and they'll pop up here and there, but I just can't imagine him walking down with just throw a name out there right now on SmackDown.
The only person I would want him to be with is Bo Dallas. If they brought Bo Dallas back, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
He coming down
guys
with
saying,
it.
I said it before, Solo even came up. I'd love to see Solo be the I could get bought. Solo is very good.
If Roman makes it past WrestleMania with the titles, it'll be Solo that takes it from him within.
Well, you've said that it should be Sammy.
I think it should be Sammy. The only reason I say that, and I've said it, and I got flack for it, is if you're not doing Rock and Roman at Mania, if it's not signed, sealed, and delivered, it should be Sammy. Because I just feel like I feel like we're in such an incredible moment with the Bloodline, and it's so hot, and Sammy has been leaps and bounds better than we expected. It should be Sammy. But yes, if you get Rock and you get Reigns, cool, do that. But I think that's overshadowing what's going on right now. And you don't have the Rock officially signed, sealed, and delivered yet that I'm aware of.
No. And then there's some rumors that are saying maybe Roman fights both nights.
Yeah,
which if Roman fights both nights, he's 100% disappearing after WrestleMania. 100%.
Back-to-back nights for Roman.
He's gonna be like, I'm fucking out of here. I've been carrying this fucking company for 2 years. I'm taking a vacation. I'm out of here.
What is this crap? 2 nights in a road trips?
No.
You got
Let me beat Rock. I'll beat Rock. I'll beat Rock. Night 1, head of the table type stuff. And then I'll go face Cody, who's going to win the Rumble. And I'll drop the belt to Cody.
Too.
And then we go. You have Cody win the Rumble. You have Cody win the Rumble. And he goes, what is it?
That's convoluting it even more. Then you have to have Cody cut. Then you have to have Cody cutting promos on The Rock and Roman and Roman.
Not really.
And The Rock.
No, you can have Cody just saying I'm taking the winner. It's fine. I don't care. I'm taking the winner.
But then he wins with a lesser, not 100% Roman Reigns or Rock. And so it kind of cheapens the whole underdog
all right, well, how about this?
Cody Rhodes story.
Yeah, all right. Maybe you do Roman and the Royal Rumble winner night 1, but then The Rock will have Roman at less strength.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Again, I don't want Roman fighting 2 nights, but there are significant rumors that they think Roman Reigns might fight both nights of Mania. Well, how the fuck are you going to do that, Pluggo?
That's what I'm saying. They back themselves into this odd corner where it's like the Royal Rumble winner it has nothing going for them because it's Rock Roman. What do you do, right? So either way you slice it, if you do Rock Roman night 1, because I think they would do it on Saturday just to start off real hot. The Royal Rumble winner, if it's Cody, and his whole thing is he's an underdog baby face, he gets a lesser Roman Reigns, and that cheapens his win a little bit. I know the moment's cool. The moment's cool, right? WWE, son of the legend Dusty Rhodes comes in, wins the WWE Championship, but he did it after The Rock kicked the shit out of him night 1, or Roman ultimately wins. But if he's facing The Rock, it's gonna be a knockout drag out, right?
Look, I've been saying it. Throwback, you getting out of here. Merry Christmas, my friend.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, we love you, brother. We always love
Christmas
seeing
you
you here. So have a good holiday. And then we got Hab Guy saying take care, Throwback, and have a Merry Christmas as well.
But then I saw a rumor that The Rock was going to win the Rumble.
No.
So,
who knows
what's going to happen?
That would be I'd be pissed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm trusting in the process that they will figure this out and have it make sense. But I just feel like it should be Rock, Roman, and no other distractions.
Right. But
Cody shouldn't be looking over his shoulder. Cody shouldn't have to go into a match going, I'll take whoever, I don't care. He should get significant chance to prepare for whether it's Rock or Roman and focus on that. But it's just a kind of a mess in my opinion. I know they'll figure it out. There's still a lot of time to get there. Cody's not even back yet. Rock's not signed on the dotted line yet. We'll see. We'll see. That's all I'm saying. Think about it. Just think about how crazy it sounds
I
right
agree with
now.
Hab Guy. I agree with Hab Guy.
Oh, I do too. I'm just saying I saw the rumor and I thought immediately like that. I thought immediately, ew, don't do that. But then I thought, okay, whoever wins the Rumble, whether it's Cody, whether it's Seth, whether it's some rando, like what prize did they get? What prize did they get? Because we're talking Rock Roman at Mania, and that's gonna be for the title. And then he beats The Rock in a grueling match and then has to limp into night 2. And then the winner of the Rumble in theory is the guy, but the guy won on a lesser.
It's fair.
It wasn't.
We agree with saying, I don't know if Cody coming back and winning a championship at WrestleMania is a good idea. I know he got injured, but all he has done since being back in WWE is fight Ron. I mean, I think
3 times. He did 3 times.
He fought him 3 times, and he also fought a match with a completely torn pectoral muscle, which was.
And he had a good match with The Miz, but I get what you're saying. Like
I can understand where you're coming from, but the second Cody showed up in my brain at that moment, I was like, he's the guy taking the belt off Roman, 100%. Like that's what I thought immediately. Like that's the guy.
And I think that was
get
the
it off
plan.
Roman.
But injuries happened. The Sami Zayn has benefited from the injuries happened. That storyline has been crazy good. Things happen. I'm hoping they figure it out. There's plenty of things they can do to get there. I just would hate for them to go, hey, Royal Rumble winner this year is going to challenge for the United States title. Because it's supposed to be a main event spot at WrestleMania for whatever championship you choose.
Yeah.
I hope they figure it out.
Sammy wins the Rumble, offers to let Reigns beat him the same night, but Jay helps Sammy accidentally win. Then you can have the title off of Reigns if he faces The Rock. I've been an advocate that the title should be off Reigns if he's fighting The Rock since day one. I said that don't need the title.
I'm an advocate for Sammy doing the finger poke of doom with Roman.
God, we still got awards to go through here.
I want a good finger poke of doom, but everybody's been cool. We'll stick it out, go through the overtime. You guys keep bringing.
For sure.
We love you. We're working hard for you.
So we have promo of the year. These are kind of so we have the Big Daddy Magic promo, which fantastic.
Shout out to our friend
Lou's back one more time. Hey, Bubs,
who did that on this very channel. He recreated the Big Daddy Magic.
Yes, he did. Definitely go check that out. So we got the Big Daddy Magic. We have the CM Punk shoot at Brawl Out, which led to Brawl Out. We have the MJF pipe bomb. Now, which one was that? The one against
that
CM
was
Punk?
that was the one where he came back, where he was trying to get Tony Khan to.
Lou thinks that this is a toy.
Where he was trying to get Tony Khan to fire him. Remember that promo in LA?
That's right. Yes. Where he called him an effing mark. That's what he called him.
He's like, fire me. I don't care. You're executive. Fire. That was insane.
Yeah.
You could have just picked out it. You could have picked out a whole bunch. This could have been the MJF.
Hab Guy says he would buy a Sammy shirt immediately if he did the finger poke of doom.
I'm telling you, right? Oh,
yeah.
Daddy
so we have the MJF pipe bomb, CM Punk the shoot at the press conference, which led to Brawl Out. We have the Cody Rhodes return promo to WWE where he talks about Dusty and winning the WWE title and how that was the one thing that eluded his dad and he was emotional and stuff like that. And then we have Bray Wyatt's return promo from SmackDown, which was also a really emotional, really good promo as well. And next year we might have to go to 10 because I feel like you could do 10 on all of these. But yeah. Big Daddy Magic
we might
special.
have to do like a preliminary round where we whittle it down because we left some gems off of here, but there was just so much. And again, this has been a great year for, if you took out all the crazy news stories, it's been a great year for just wrestling and promo work, and it's tough to whittle it down. But
all right, we then have the storyline of the year. We have the CM Punk and Jon Moxley. We have the Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley storyline. We have Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. We're still waiting on the conclusion of that one because of Christian's. We could do like a March Madness of sorts and do something like that.
You need a bracket, Hab Guy. Do you want to vote? Go over to my Facebook page at Pluggo. I've got the Winter Madness tournament right now with the 68.
Yeah, he
best
doesn't save
women
that
in
for
wrestling.
us at B2 Beards. He takes that one for himself. That's what
I
he
mean,
does
I
there.
can.
No.
It's just,
We
I've
then
been
have
doing-
MJF and William Regal. And then we have the Bloodline storyline. I think for me, it's far and away the Bloodline. That's just a me thing.
And I 100% took like executive control and put Dom and Rhea in there just because I love it.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
I didn't even tell you because you know what happened.
Yeah, you didn't run that one by me. I would have been like, yeah.
No, full disclosure, I sent over the list to Alex, who's going to help us make up some nice graphics for next week for these awards. And like he was like, "You're missing one on the storyline of the year," and I was like, "Oh shoot," because I didn't want to take any time. I said Dom and Rhea.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not against it. Let me tell you this though, Pluggo. We have been going a little bit of overtime today.
Yeah, a little bit.
They gave us the TNT. They gave us the TBS TNT. Go until you finished. I do say MJF and Regal is the close second there.
Yeah.
But I think the Bloodline and just the work that Sami Zayn has done and added to the Bloodline and just man,
you could have did.
You had them doing their best
MJF.
NWO black and white impersonation on Monday night, beating up the whole roster.
That was so cool. I love.
Yeah, they were doing their best NWO impersonation there. And now you get Cena being involved with it next week, and then you head into the new year when, like we talked about earlier, the inevitable Sami Zayn does something wrong and gets the shit beat out of him.
Adam Pearce has no control for Monday Night Raw.
No, he doesn't. He fired Bobby Lashley, but then rescinded it like 2 days later.
But he fires Lashley, but he lets the Bloodline keep doing like that's. I get it.
What's he gonna do? Roman runs the show. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? All right, Pluggo. We're a little bit over, but that's okay. It's Christmas time. It's holiday time, but we're a little bit over. We want to thank everybody that has been in this chat tonight. The chat has been bumping tonight. That's when we are at our best, when you guys are here.
Yep.
It is the best. Gravedigger, the best. The best. But we appreciate all you guys being in here with all your thoughts and the whole part of the reason why we ran a little bit over is because you guys were coming up with good shit in the chat and we were that's what we do. That's what we do. We want people in here.
You come to this show, we're going to read your comments as long as you keep
correct. And that's what we do. Like we have agendas or things that we want to talk about, but there's been shows where you guys have wanted to talk about other things. So guess what? We talk about other things. So the more you guys are here, the more alive you are in the chat. The show is just going in all directions, talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
That's how this show was designed. We designed Between Two Beards is like we want to be interactive because we're in chats all the time. We're at shows. We watch plenty of people talk, and sometimes your chat gets lost in the shuffle. But we make sure to we're gonna call you guys out. We love you. Without you, this show isn't where it is. And like I said, it was crazy tonight. It was awesome.
It was awesome. It was really good. Tell your friends, share us with your friends. We're here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. right here on Love Wrestling. So tell your friends, get them in here. You guys be here every week. Let's have, this is what we love to do is kind of shoot
tell them
shit.
JPJ is cool and Pluggo's all right. Be like, these guys are all right.
If you ask most people, it's the other way around.
No, baby, we love having you, man.
For sure.
You coming in. Always coming with great comments. Like Gravedigger had some good stuff. Hab Guy, I mean, you name it. You guys, and that's one of the things we love about the group that we've grown here. That's why we want you to bring in more people. If you know people looking for a place to hang on Thursdays, because you guys keep it professional. You keep it, clean, and we don't have any issues with anybody, and everybody's respectful of everybody's thoughts. And that's what we love. We're building a good community here of great people. And without you, Hab Guy, I'm just here so he doesn't get fined. Yep, I'm just here so I can spend Spencer's money. But
that's all we do.
Man, it's been
that's
awesome.
All we do.
It's been an awesome year. We got one more show next week. That's the Beardy Award.
And that'll be the Beardy Award show. We'll be dressed in our finest.
Review.
We'll be doing that thing. So Pluggo, before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find us on the social medias, and then let them know where they can find you, my friend.
Well, you can find us as a show at B2 Beards on Twitter, at B2 Beards on Facebook and TikTok. We've that's where you can find show updates, what we're doing. I'll retweet out what JPJ's got going on. That's where you just main hub us. If you want to personally follow me, you can follow me at Pluggo _ on the Twitter, and then at Pluggo on all the other social medias like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. I do a lot of different things there. We've got some things coming up that we're going to try. I know I've got some things that I personally want to just start doing. So I think I'm going to just start doing them because I'm sick of talking about it. So stay tuned to our socials. You might see some new things coming up from both of us real soon. JPJ, you tell the people where they can find you, you beautiful son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, definitely give us a follow on the B2 Beards channels on all the socials, but you can find me right next to my
vote.
Yeah, vote on those Beardy Awards. Let's get a good turnout here. We've shared them with a few of our friends as well, but let's get a good turnout on those. But you can find me at Joseph_Poulin Jr. on Twitter, and then you can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on Facebook and on Twitch. Got a building a little bit good community. I'd love to see more of you guys over there too. Smashing dongs, bro. I play a lot of MLB The Show. That's coming to an end though, but we're going to be the Harry Potter games coming out in a few months. We've been playing some Call of Duty, some God of War.
Coming out.
Yeah, AEW Fight Forever is coming out, so we're going to be playing that. It's going to be some good shit over there. So go give me some love over there. That's at JPJ Loves Gaming on Twitch. It is absolutely free to subscribe to me if you have Amazon Prime. So frankly, if you guys have Amazon Prime and you're on Twitch, I'm offended that you already aren't subscribing to me. Because it costs you 0 cents and you'll give me money. So go do that. But it's okay. I just love you guys being there anyway. But yeah, tonight was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody. We will be back next week for the Beardy Awards.
Poor baby.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I hear you. It's gonna get like real crappy.
Yeah, it's supposed to get wild here. It's supposed to get wild here weather-wise.
Merry Christmas.
But again, thank you all for everybody, or anybody who is celebrating Christmas this weekend. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas. We hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the great food, the gifts, and the time with loved ones. And be safe out there.
Big Ben, and you win that one, baby.
I mean, Big Ben. I mean, yeah. That would be a question that you could answer.
We would name it after you.
Yeah, we could. We could call it the like, they have the Warrior Award. We could call it the Big Ben Award of who's got the biggest hog. It could be a whole separate award.
We'll name the award after you, and you'll win it every year, bro.
You'll win the inaugural. Yeah, there you go. The big. BCW Worldwide.
Oh,
we appreciate that, man. That's what we try to do. That's what we try to do. Look at, and I know we got to get out of here. We're fucking late. There's a lot of wrestling shows that recap stuff, and those are all great. And we do that on here. My AEW show with Drew, which I love doing, is a recap show of AEW. We love that. Me and Pluggo do recap big events and pay-per-views and stuff like that, but we want it to be a little bit different. We wanted to be more free form. We're one of the only we are basically on Love Wrestling, the only like live weekly content show that like doesn't react to shows. You know what I mean? So us and the brunch really.
Gimmick, yeah.
Us and the brunch are the only two shows. So we definitely wanted to separate ourselves a little bit, and that's involving you guys and getting all the chat that Big Penis or whatever. I love it. It goes to this show. Thank you, my friend.
This show would go as far as you guys want to take it. Like I said, we no problem staying all night if the comments keep flowing and people are having a good time. But that's what we wanted to do. Like, there's great recap shows out there, but this is supposed to be just kind of a hangout, have some fun, chat it up. That's what we do. Like, heck, some nights we don't even talk about wrestling it to a full extent. We actually, when Josh was on last time, I don't think we talked about wrestling for like an hour. This was the most wrestling talk we did with Josh Robinson, I think, combined.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
but on that note, give us a follow on the social medias. Give us some love. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Christmas weekend. Pluggo and I will be back celebrating our New Year's episode and doing the second annual Beardy Awards. And you know the drill. Until next Thursday at 8 p.m. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Please. Merry Christmas to my family, friends, everybody. JPJ, Merry Christmas to you, beautiful man.
Merry Christmas to you, Pluggo. Fuck my friends and fuck my... No, I'm just kidding. Merry Christmas. No, I love them all. Merry Christmas to my friends. Merry Christmas to my family. Merry Christmas to Pluggo. Merry Christmas to all you guys in the chat. Merry Christmas to everybody at Love Pro Wrestling. Lou, get your ass out of my face. Merry Christmas to you too, you little dickhead. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. We love you all.
Right,
peace out.
Till next week.
have a power.